It's time for Rebel Sports on MyLocalRadio.com and 98.3 KADQ. Rebel Sports is brought to you by Rocky Mountain Power, Ready, Rich School District, Town of Randolph, Come On In, West Art Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, T7 Propane, Station on Main, Stacy's Repair, Ellingford Brothers, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, Bear Lake Realty, Independent Software Solutions, Jimmy John's, Dr. McKay Frankum, Crawford Trough, Woodruff Corner Store, Our Bakery, Mound Valley Cattle Company, and the town of Garden City.
Welcome to all of our listeners out there, ready for another day of Rebel basketball as we have a doubleheader coming your way between the Rich Rebels and the Altamont Longhorns. Second matchup between these two sides this season, and we will start with the girls' game as always, and that's coming to you in 10 minutes. So the JV game went a little long, but it looks like we're only going to be about 4 or 5 minutes behind schedule. So thank you for tuning in. This is the Ellingford Brothers pregame show. Thank you to those guys for their great sponsorship to make Rebel basketball happen over the waves. And special thanks to My Local Radio for supporting Rich High Sports. When we come back, Where Are They Now segment, followed by my interview with Coach Lundgren this week. We've started to do longer coaches interviews so that we can have different parts of the interview in the 3 games we have. So you'll catch the second part of the interview with Coach Lundgren that I was able to have this week. So thanks for tuning in. We'll be back after the break.
It's the best feeling when you've had a long drive and you see your hotel, the Come On In, Casper. That means your day just got better. At the Come On In, you have lots of options. Unwind in the hot tub, go for a swim, relax in the beautiful atrium, and sleep in total comfort. Centrally located, the Come On In is close to everything. In the morning, start your day with a delicious breakfast. Top it all off with an amazing, friendly staff who is always glad to see you. It doesn't get better than that. When you're in Casper, always stay at the Come On In.
WattSmart is Rocky Mountain Power's energy efficiency program. WattSmart provides rebates to residential customers for energy efficiency upgrades made around the home. Devices and appliances that use electricity in your home can usually be made more efficient, and that can save you money and energy. When you decide to make upgrades, we have rebates available for you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
We're back now. Last week was a great week for you and your team. You guys were able to take your second straight state championship. Before we talk about the championship itself, it's kind of like girls wrestling, how it hasn't always been around for Rich High School. It's a newly thing, and we've been able to jump right in and not only be competitive, but win state championships. So how did competitive cheer come about? And I honestly don't know the answer to this question, is it new for Rich High School, or did the state start having cheerleading be a competitive sport?
UHSAA actually sanctioned cheerleading in 2023 would have been the first year that they competed. So we didn't compete that year. We waited till last year in 2024. But yeah, they sanctioned it in. So that's when we started.
You were coaching before competitive cheer started, right?
Yeah, so I started coaching the year it got sanctioned, and then we competed the next year.
Did you play a role in getting it to where Rich was able to compete rather than just strictly cheering at, other sporting events?
When I was hired on, they had told me, that's kind of a goal that they were wanting to work towards, was competing. And in fact, they gave me the option, asked if it was something we wanted to do that first year. But at that point, I wasn't sure what we were walking into. We didn't know exactly what we were going to have and where we were standing as a basis. So we decided to take our first year and make sure we had our basics down solid before we moved on to that next step.
Tell our listeners how it works at state, the different sections that you're scored on, and how the weighting of scoring happens, and then we'll talk about the state championship.
it surprised a lot of people when we talk about it because there's a lot of math that goes into it, but there's 3 different routines. We have our show routine, which is the routine that has, all the stunting and tumbling and dancing and jump. There's a lot that goes into that one. And then we have a cheer routine, which is just our regular cheer. And it's a lot on crowd leading and how much we can get them involved. And then we have our timeout dance routine, which is same thing as cheer. It's a lot on the crowd leading and how into the crowd you can get them in your dance. But in the show routine alone, there's a section for stunting, and you have certain points for different stunts you can get for that. And then there's a section for pyramid, which is a connected stunt with multiple stunt groups, and you have different sections or point wise on that. And then same thing with your tumbling. There's different points for different types of tumbling and different types of jumps, and they all go into that scoring system. And then your show routine is worth 70% of your overall score, and your 2 other routines combined are worth 30% of your overall score.
So with that being said, tell us how, we all know that we took state, but how did we do in each of those categories last week?
We did good. We took first in all 3 categories, and then first overall. Our show routine was usually is our, the one that we bank on, and we had some stunts not go as we planned, and so the girls did really good to adapt and pull everything else out that they needed in order to still seal that win. And then they knew, afterwards it can, get you down pretty hard if you don't hit everything, and we haven't been used to not hitting everything, so it's kind of a hard moment for them, but they were able to pull it back together and work even harder for their next 2 routines, and they nailed them. I've never seen them do so good on those ones.
Well, that is awesome. Awesome for your girls and for your team. A second straight state championship for Coach Argyle and the Rich High cheerleaders. Speaking of adapting, tell us the story about your regional cheers when you guys showed up and realized you didn't have the signs that you usually have for your routine. Talk about the chaos that ensued that eventually earned you guys a win at regionals, but talk about that whole experience.
We have in our cheer and our show routine, we have signs that we hold up, and we get points for props that we use. And so we needed them. We got there, we got off the bus, and we're pulling everything off and realized that we had not brought our signs, that they were still in the locker room back home. And at that point, we were starting in 40 minutes. And so called one of the moms that were already down there and had her go grab us some foam poster board and some markers, and we hand wrote our signs in about 5 minutes and went out and used those. So it was a little chaotic, but
Amazing.
It worked.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, congrats on that state championship, on the verge of a dynasty, which I'm sure you guys are going for next year with the 3rd straight championship. When we come back, we will talk to Coach Argyle about her personal life, her family, and going on there in her life. We'll be back after this. Coach, we're back now. Last week was a great...
Listening to the music that you love brings you joy. MyLocalRadio.com brings you that music. Whether you like listening to country's biggest stars, classic pop hits, classic rock, and rock hits, or country's young guns and legendary southern rock, MyLocalRadio.com puts your favorite music at your fingertips. Download the app to your mobile device or log onto the website to bring more joy into your life with your favorite music. MyLocalRadio.com.
Ready is committed to providing superior services to our customers by requiring individual accountability for excellence in quality, safety, and dependability. We are a growing company that is currently hiring across Wyoming, Colorado, Texas, Nevada, Idaho, and elsewhere. Our valued team members receive competitive wages, full benefits, and weekly pay. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
Coach, we're back. Thanks for joining me for this coach's show. How are you doing today, and how are we feeling about this week?
I'm doing good. Had a great weekend of basketball with JV varsity and our freshmen on Saturday, and just getting ready and looking forward to this week with some good opponents.
So let's start talking about last week's game against Tintic. Obviously, Tintic having a bit of a rough go this season, a bit of a learning curve it seems like. But with those types of games, what are you still looking for? It wasn't a close one, but obviously we're still competing and not wanting any bad habits to arise. How do you coach games like that?
It was good. They're physical girls. They play pretty hard. They're fast. They got good speed. They're not scared to stand in front of you. So I thought Tintic was a good opponent that way. And I'm glad they ran a 1-2-2 against us, because we see a 1-2-2 against, like Taviona and Valley and quite a few teams that will run that. So it was good to see our ball rotation against that zone and the looks that we got, that we were able to knock those looks down.
update our listeners after the win last weekend going into this week. How are things looking in the RPI and with the 1A landscape?
Last time I checked, and it changes every day, but we're still number 1, and Tabby is number 2. There's been some small movements back and forth between 3 and 4 with Wayne, Penguich, and Whitehorse. But there's 6 teams, in my opinion, that could win it in the end. I think it's going to be a very competitive state tournament when we get down there. And in our region, there's some very good teams, too, and it's going to be a very competitive region tournament.
Yeah, Coach, what are your thoughts on the region tournament? Obviously, it was a very normal thing for many years, but then it went away, and now it's back again. What are your thoughts on it, the pros and the cons that you see with the region tournament?
We had stopped the region tournament by the time I started coaching here at Rich High School, so this will be my first time going to it. Things that I think will help us is feeling that tournament crunch before we get to state and feeling the tension and the tightness, and when you get in games and a couple shots don't fall and the shots fall for other teams and having to make a run and respond to that. Feel that in region games also, but I think in the tournament format, which I've seen with region 20, they just seem a little bit more prepared for that state tournament at the end of the year when they get there.
I talked to Coach Corney about this too last week. Do you feel that it's going to lead to maybe some changes in how our regular season region games are scheduled in terms of the frequency that you play certain teams?
I think it might. Next season, we'll have another team come into our region with St. Joe. And so that's going to give us 12 region games, which really limits our preseason stuff and teams that we can schedule outside of our region during, like I have North Summit, which is a very important game for us to get us ready for state for the level of competition that we want to see. So I don't want to lose those games. So hopefully there's something that happens where we can work it out, where we can keep those types of games in our schedule.
I'm here with Coach Lundgren talking about Lady Rebel basketball. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, our final segment of our interview with Coach Lundgren. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back after this.
Bear Lake Memorial Hospital provides safe, effective, high-quality health care. With many specialty services, Bear Lake Memorial serves patients from prenatal to geriatric. When you need imaging services, including mammograms, CT, and other specialized tests, the MRI suite accommodates patients of all sizes. The large windows provide natural light to help patients have an even better scanning experience. For a complete list of services offered, visit us online at blmhospital.com. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels!
Hazel Scott, freshman, guard.
My name is Cass Argyle. I'm a senior and I play shooting guard.
I'm Paige Smith. I'm a junior and I play guard.
Corey Stacy. I'm a freshman and I play shooting guard.
I'm Jalen Lutz. I'm a sophomore and I'm a shooting guard.
I'm Kira Jolly. I'm a senior and I'm a shooting guard.
I'm Molly Weston. I'm a sophomore and I'm a point guard.
I'm Ryan Smoot. I'm a freshman and I play post.
I'm Kara Hoffman. I'm a freshman and I play post.
I'm Lacey McKinnon. I'm a sophomore and I play guard.
My name's Dottie Morris. I'm a sophomore and I play post.
My name is Brindley Hatch. I'm a senior and I play post.
I'm Lila Taylor. I'm a sophomore and I play post.
My name is Emery Thornock. I am a freshman and I am a guard.
My name is Ryan Latham. I am a sophomore and I play as a guard.
I'm Brooke Compton. I am a junior and I am a post.
I'm Braylon Pugmire. I'm a sophomore and I'm a post.
Hi, I'm
Welcome to all of our listeners out there. We are just getting ready to get underway here with all 10 players from both sides on the floor, ready to get going here. Game 1 of 2 in our doubleheader today. Rob, good to have you back on the mic. It's been a while after this long road trip that the Rebels have had.
Yeah, they've been away from home for a little while. I'm looking for a quick start from the Rebels tonight, Bradley. They scored an average of 17 in the first game back on the 18th against the Longhorns, and I would say that would be a key as well. And the 3 ball you've got 5 young ladies on this team that are very good from beyond the arc, and that will be a key tonight.
Well, the Rebels looking to have a bounce-back win after a tough loss last night to a very good North Summit team. And so the Rebels do win the tip, and we are underway here as Jolly tries to find a Bray Pugmire underneath. She was open, but passed just a little bit too high. I would be shocked if we don't see that connection happen here again shortly. No problem, as Altamont has it on the other end, working things around the perimeter, and they're going to get it back up top to Miles. She's on the left-hand side, and once again working around the perimeter with 18 seconds left on the shot clock, and the pass knocked away right at the baseline area off the Rebels, and so Altamont will retain possession. 16 seconds on the shot clock as they look to inbound. They try to get it into the low post, and good defense there by Kira Jolly among others, and the ball bounces off the hands of Altamont. And here come the Rebels with Weston bringing it across the timeline, and she will pass it over to Smith on the wing and back to Weston. Smith with a good drive and dish to Brindley Hatch. Hatch not able to finish there, but then on the rebound, a jump ball that will give possession back to Altamont.
Kira responsible for both of those tip balls in the end. Good hands.
Altamont on the other end, trying to get something set up here. 0-score game. Let me fix our scoreboard as it shows the fourth quarter. Recycled scoreboard from last night. Still a 0-0 game so far. Altamont has it right at the foul line, working things around. Carter drives in, but blocked by Weston. Weston keeps the ball, goes the other end, dishes it off to Smith, and Page able to finish at the rack and put 2 points on the board in favor of the Rebels.
Going to get a foul on Paige Smith on the other end, I think. Unless they want to give this one to Bray. No, people go to Paige. Her first foul of the ball game, and obviously the first one on the Rebels.
6:33 to go in the first quarter. Altamont with the ball. They get it inbounded. Good defense there by Hatch. Ball definitely skirting around the perimeter and into the corner. Ends up in a jump ball between Jolly and that was number 3, Jada Miles. That'll give the ball back to the Rebels. So Weston brings it across. She'll pass over to Smith on the right wing. Back to Weston and then over to Jolly on the opposite side. Working things around. Jolly has it still on the left wing. She enters it into Pugmire. Pugmire goes from high post to low post to Hatch, and that is good. Good finish there for Brindley. 4-0 in favor of the Rebels. Altamont quickly gets it across to the other end. Looking to work inside. Hatch the defender here. Good defense there by Brindley, and the ball knocked away into the hands of Weston. Weston threads the needle over to Pugmire underneath, and she's able to have that left-handed finish at the basket. 6-0, and Altamont. Coach Wilkerson's going to take a timeout here. We'll go to break as well. Score, Rebels 6, Altamont 0. You're listening online at mylocalradio.com and at 98.3 KDQ FM.
When you're hungry for an amazing breakfast, just like Grandma used to make, visit our bakery on Main Street in Randolph. We hand make fresh pastries for you to enjoy. Supporting the Rich Rebels and thanking you for your business, visit our bakery today.
Welcome back as Altamont coming out of a timeout. Gets the ball stolen away on their end of the floor. That's by Paige Smith, and she gets it ahead to Jolly. Jolly finds an open Hatch underneath. Hatch not able to finish, and that is rebounded by Bagley, and Bagley passes it ahead. Things of note for this Longhorn team, Rob, definitely some young players out there, so for sure in the building process, for sure a freshman and sophomore out there for them right now with Bagley and I believe Carter, number 20, Mackley Carter. Ball is taken down to the other end. Weston tries for the layup. That is no good, but rebounded and put back by Pugmire to give the Rebels an 8-point lead. Altamont yet to get on the scoreboard here, as they'll take a shot from the baseline. No good, but able to get a rebound, an offensive rebound. Another shot up and missed, and Altamont still has the ball. About 17 shot attempts there, and one does fall. That's from Bagley on the right side of the basket. 8-2 now in favor of the Rebels. Looks like we have Cass Argyle at the scores table. Weston finds a cutting Smith, and Page puts the shot up from the foul line. That is no good, but rebounded by Brindley Hatch, and she's fouled underneath. So that foul was on number 34, Allie Layton, her first team foul for the Longhorns. So Kira Jolly comes out, Cass Argyle in, and she'll be the inbounder underneath. She finds Smith in the corner for three, just rims out, rebounded by Bagley, and she'll take it the other way, but then is stolen right away from Smith, but she crosses half court and has to throw it to avoid a backcourt call. So Altamont does get possession back. Bagley looks to the inside, knocked away, but back into the hands of Bagley. Definitely just a messy game right now, and they're going to call, was that a carry that he called? So a carry violation against Altamont. We'll give the ball back to the Rebels with 4 minutes to go in the first.
Cass Argyle in the ball game for Kira Jolly, senior for senior.
Weston brings it across half court, passes to Smith on the wing. Smith skip passes it to Cass. Cass back to Weston, and then to Smith. Cass drives baseline, enters it into Hatch, and Hatch back to Argyle. Up to Weston up top. She gets it into Hatch. A lot of ball movement going on, which ends with a three-point attempt that is no good from Argyle. Rebounded and put back up by Brindley. Brindley having a great start today as she gets the putback. I believe she's got at least 4 points so far.
That's 4 and 2 offensive boards.
10-2 now. Rebels up 8. Bagley with it on the right wing for Altamont. She tries to get to the inside, deflected by Pugmire into the hands of Smith. Smith picks up her dribble and passes it ahead to Pugmire. Pugmire enters it into Hatch. Hatch to Smith. Smith skips it over to Weston. Rebels will get things reset now, as Smith has it on the left wing. If you're watching online, this is a packed house. I won't give all the credit to the basketball matchup. A lot of it has to do with the little girl cheerleading happened today, which is an annual thing that really packs the house each year.
Got a foul on number 4, Kennedy Carter, one of the seniors, and that is the first foul on the Longhorns, and I'm surprised he's going to call that on the shot. So Page can go to the free throw line.
And for any of our viewers wondering, we will keep the camera on during the little girl cheerleading at halftime. We'll try to go to commercial breaks in between dances, so if you're watching from afar and have a loved one, we'll have the camera on for that. I've had a few requests about that, so I want to make that clear that we'll make sure that happens. So Page's first is up and good. Second just rims out. Scrum for the ball that involves Pugmire and 3 Longhorns. So a jump ball that'll give the ball to the Longhorns. Into the game for the Rebels, Lacey McKinnon subs in for Paige Smith. Ball is inbounded. Taken across, but stolen by Cass Argyle on the wing. She takes it across half court. She tries to get the last second pass out on the wing to McKinnon, but just a little bit too far in front, out of bounds. The Rebels will get possession, Altamont will get possession back. Altamont crosses the timeline, working things around the perimeter. They get it inside. That's to number 21, Mackley Carter. No good, rebounded by Argyle. Argyle keeps her dribble, passes it to Weston, then to McKinnon. Good extra pass there for the open shot, but that is no good. Good rebound there by Bray. And they're going to have another jump ball here, so this time it'll stay in possession of the Rebels. So a decent amount of jump balls again to start the first quarter here.
Keep track, Bradley. Don't even go there.
Ball is inbounded. Nice tip to Pugmire to Hatch. Hatch kicks it out to Argyle. Argyle tries for the 2-point jumper, mid-range jumper, and that is no good. Rebounded by Altamont and down to the other end. Definitely a physical game so far defensively, as Weston is going to get called for the foul there out on the wing.
Her first, but the third on the Rebels. And looks like Paige Smith's going to come back in for Molly.
1:52 to go in the first quarter. Rebels up 11-2 in what has been a bit of a chaotic first quarter. Both teams really haven't got into a full swing of things. Rebels have been able to get a lot of hustle points so far. Shot is up for Altamont, no good. Rebounded by Pugmire. She gets it ahead to McKinnon. McKinnon misses the layup. And what do you know, another jump ball this time for Altamont if you're keeping track of possession.
Well, looks like Texie Johnson's doing a good job at the scorer's table doing that.
Yeah. Ball is back inbound into Altamont, but they're going to get called for a travel as soon as they cross half court, so ball back to the Rebels.
9th turnover on the Lady Longhorns already.
Pugmire enters the ball to Smith. Smith kicks it over to Argyle. Argyle back to Smith. Ball now on the right wing. Skip pass over to Argyle again, then to Smith. Smith takes a dribble to the inside. Rebels trying to find a way to get it into Hatch or Pugmire, and Argyle does enter it into Hatch, and she's fouled underneath. So an inbound play coming up here for the Rebels as Weston looking to check in, and she will come in for Brindley Hatch.
Fouls on Hazley Bagley, her first.
So in for the Rebels is Smith, Pugmire, McKinnon, Weston, and Argyle. So with the exception of Molly, pretty tall lineup for the Rebels right now with a few more posts than usual. Argyle has it on the left wing. She pump fakes, hands to Weston. Weston pump fakes, drives baseline, puts up a floater, and that one just rims out into the hands of the Longhorns. That's Mackley Carter, and she will drive all the way down to the other end. Just misses. Weston with the rebound. That is knocked away into the hands of the Longhorns again. And Longhorns take a shot from the baseline. Strong rebound by Pugmire and another jump ball.
This one will go in possession of the Rebels.
32 seconds to go in the first quarter. Rebels up 9. Weston gets it across half court. Passes it to Smith. Smith gets it to a cutting McKinnon, and Lacey's shot rolls in. Things were stagnant for a while there, so good thing to get that basket from McKinnon. 10 seconds on the clock. Altamont with the ball, working around the perimeter. 5 seconds, they get it into Bagley. Bagley turns and tries to score. She puts it up and just rims out. And we're going to credit Paige with a rebound to end the first quarter with the score 13-2 in favor of the Rebels. And checking into the game, both Dottie Morse and Kira Jolly. We'll be back after this. Thanks for tuning in to Lady Rebel Sports online at mylocalradio.com and at 98.3 KDQ FM.
We know from experience that in rural America, people really care about 3 things: their faith, their money, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order.
It's a race. Mendez in some space down the left wing. Steps into a shot. Mendez scores! Red Devils on top, 2-0 on the Heritage Auto of Evanston scoreboard.
The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Hello, North Carolina. Cheyenne's coming to visit.
The My Local Radio Sports Network covers high school sports in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. American Legion Baseball and high school rodeo in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. Advertising in the My Local Radio Sports Network is unique for 2 reasons. 1, it's the best way to reach your local audience, and 2, it's the most economical way to reach your regional and national audience. Join us today on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back. Start of the second quarter. Rebels up 13-2, and Altamont will start with the ball. And they enter it in, trying to get things going offensively. They had a decent quarter defensively, considering the Rebels averaging 17 points, as you said, Rob, in the beginning in that first quarter. But offensively, not able to get things going yet.
Going to call a foul underneath on Dottie Morris, I believe. Last time they met 2 weeks ago,
they're going to call that on Lacey.
Oh, there you go. 2 weeks ago it was 18-10 after the first quarter, so you're right. Longhorn defense better, but their offense is still looking for some groove.
Ball is entered to Bagley. She goes to the basket, puts it up straight in the air. Good rebound there by Moore. She gets it to McKinnon and then ahead to Jolly. And Jolly finds a cutting Morse. Morse kicks it back up top to Weston. Weston over to Smith on the right wing. Weston then to Jolly and then to Morse. Morse finds a cutting Smith who kicks it back out. McKinnon with the three just rims out. That touched every part of the rim and then comes out. So Altamont back with the ball once again. Only one bucket so far today. And here's a three-point attempt, and that is good. And that is just what the doctor ordered for Altamont to get some more points on the board. Cutting the lead to 8, 13-5 for the Rebels. Weston passes it to Jolly. Jolly kicks it into Morse. Morse kicks it back out to Weston. Weston to Jolly. Jolly is going to try for three. That is off the mark and out of bounds. Altamont ball. So, Rob, I don't know if you agree, but I'm seeing a bit of a lag from the Lady Rebels.
Could be.
Obviously, last night a tough one, but you definitely want to be able to just get back on the horse, seeing as this is game 2 of 3 in just as many days. Shot is no good by Altamont, but rebounded by Weston. Weston, great drive to the basket. She kicked it into another gear and able to beat her defender there. 15-5 now for the Longhorns, for the Rebels. Smith, a great steal there in the transition. And she's going to go all the way. A mid-range jumper off the back iron, but she tips it over to Jolly. Weston thinks about the three, finds Jolly in the corner. Jolly back to Weston. Weston for three, and that one just rims out. Rebounded by Bagley, going the other way. She hands to Carter, and Carter gets it across half court. Passes to Thacker. Thacker has it up top and back over to Carter. 5:38 to go in the first half with the Rebels up 10. Great help there by Jolly. She knocks the ball away from the post into the hands of Weston. Weston goes all the way to the hole and able to finish at the basket with the layup. So a good run there for the Rebels coming out of that, out of the quarter. 17-5 now in favor of the Rebels. 5:25 to go in the first half. We'll be back after this. You're watching and listening to Lady Rebel basketball online at mylocalradio.com and listening in at 98.3 KDQ FM.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels!
Welcome back. Rebels up 17-5. Just so everyone knows, I had the mute button on, but this time I got Rob here to tell me to turn the mute button off. So,
hey, shout out to the pep band tonight, Bradley. They are without Mr. Woods, but they are going to play anyway, and so far so good.
He's taught them well. The ball inbounded to Altamont. They get it across half court. That Lauren Thacker was open underneath, but just passed just above her head. And again, Rob, another freshman out there. So
she's a sophomore.
She's a sophomore. Okay, so Coach Wilkerson building for the future over at Altamont. Skip pass to Weston on the right wing. Weston dribbles in, loses the ball temporarily, but gets it to Pugmire. Pugmire kicks it out to Jolly, then to Hatch. So Hatch gets the high-low play down to Pugmire, but Pugmire gets called for the travel.
Yep, drug the foot.
Pivot foot. Very underrated part of the game.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the pivot foot. Ball does get across for Altamont. A long jumper, two-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Pugmire. Bray's going to bring it across half court. She'll pull up and hand to Jolly. Jolly, great look there to Hatch underneath. That's been a great part of Kira's game, able to find the open man underneath, and she does so there to Hatch. Great defense there by Bray, but they're going to get her for a foul. She initially knocked it away and then fouled. I believe she fouled Kennedy Carter. She tried to regain that steal that was tipped away.
Bray's first foul and the second on the Rebels in the quarter. Halfway through the second.
4:25 to go, 19-5 in favor of the Rebels. Ball is passed over the head of number 15, Lauren Thacker, so the Rebels will get the ball back. Weston gets the inbound, passes to Argyle on the left wing. Argyle back to Weston. Great high-low play once again as Weston passes it to Pugmire and then to Hatch underneath. Bread and butter today for Coach Lunger in that high-low play, and I believe Coach Wilkerson wants to talk to her players about that. We'll be back after this. You're watching Lady Rebel Basketball online at mylocalradio.com and listening in at 98.3 KDQ FM. Actually, the players are out of the huddle, so we'll stay right here.
That was a quick reminder what not to do underneath on the post. But you're right, Bradley. This is a young Longhorn team, and it's going to take a little bit before you get that experience.
And in our situation, you want Altamont to improve. We want our region to get better and better as a whole. And so I believe lots of teams in our region are young right now. But Coach Lunger doing a good job of teaching by example, right?
Yep.
4 minutes to go in the first half. Ball is passed but knocked away back into the hands of Thacker. Altamont able to keep things alive as Rigby gets it back in to Carter, and Carter's shot blocked by Hatch. And right there, instead of the jump ball, they're going to call a foul against the Longhorns as Pugmire got a good, strong rebound there and was fouled by Taylor Scott. And so Rebels will get the ball back after that foul.
Scott, one of the few seniors.
Rebels working on the perimeter. Pugmire gets it inside, not able to finish, but great rebound there by Page. And Pugmire kicks it back out to Weston. Weston drives to the hole, a short jumper, and that is good. 23-5 now in favor of the Rebels.
Molly with 6 points in the quarter.
3:20 to go here in the second quarter. 23-5 in favor of the Rebels. Longhorns have not had a score since Bywater had that three-pointer. I believe it was Bywater.
Yep, it was.
So Altamont working it around the perimeter once again. Nothing on the inside, Rob. They're going all perimeter here. Now they've sent a man down under. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Altamont kicks it back out. There's a baseline jumper. That is off the mark. Good rebound there, though, by number 30, Taylor Scott. She gets knocked to the floor. Altamont able to keep possession. They are being scrappy on this possession. And there was a jumper, Allie Layton, with the two-pointer from the baseline. 23-7 for the Rebels. Weston has it up top on Rebels' end of the floor. And Weston looking to drive to the basket, and she does and is able to finish. Molly having a strong second quarter for the Rebels. 25, I have my score wrong, 25-8. I think it's to 7. That was a two-pointer on that last one there. They just fixed it. They heard me, Rob. They heard me from up here. Oh, it's my brother down there running the clock. Altamont enters it into the post. That's Scott. She got right there to the rim, but good defense there by Pugmire. And Pugmire gets the rebound and gets it up ahead. But that ball's going to be knocked out of bounds on Altamont. So Rebels will keep possession. And into the game for the Rebels, Dottie Morse and Lacey McKinnon in for Molly Weston and Brinley Hatch.
Longhorns with some subs as well.
So 1:53 to go in the half. Great inbound pass from McKinnon to Morse. Morse able to finish at the rim. Altamont on the other end. Number 3, Jada Miles with the floater, able to finish, helping her team to get almost to double digits, 27-9 now. As the Rebels come back on the other end, McKinnon has it on the wing. She gets a screen from Morse, but they're going to call Morse on the moving screen. And so Altamont will get the ball back, and Weston back into the ball game for
Paige Smith. That was not a very long rest.
No, it was not. Minute 28 to go now in the first half. Bagley with the long 3, and that is no good. Rebounded by Pugmire. Pugmire's going to take it in transition. She'll go almost coast to coast, but it gets poked out, but rebounded by Argyle as she hands to Weston. Weston dribbles to her left, gets it to Pugmire. Pugmire now at the top of the key. Pugmire's going to hand back to Weston. Weston backs it back out, enters it into Morse. Morse, good move there to finish with her left, but shot no good, rebounded by Bagley. Now under a minute to go here in the first half. Ball is passed ahead, but knocked away by Molly, and Rebels now have control with 32 seconds on the shot clock, 46 on the game clock. Good rotation by the Rebels. McKinnon tries for 3, but that is no good. Rebounded by Carter, heading the other way. Bagley takes a shot from the foul line, and that is no good. Rebounded by Argyle. Argyle takes it across half court, finds Pugmire. Pugmire is going to hand it to McKinnon up at the top. 20 seconds to go on the game clock. Weston now has on the left wing. She's going to drive baseline. She goes all the way to the basket and able to finish at the rim. Rebels now up 20 with 10 seconds left to go in the first half. Altamont gets a wide open look on the baseline on their end. That is missed. 2 seconds. Bagley at the buzzer, and that is no good. So that'll be it. Rebels with a strong lead, 29-9 at half. We'll go to a quick break. When we come back, our standout student segment, but we'll try to keep the camera on for the little girls cheerleading for all those grandparents and relatives out watching from home. Thanks for tuning in.
We offer rebates on energy-saving products and equipment for our customers. For example, your home's heating and air conditioning system draws significant amount of electricity during certain times of the year. We offer cashback for heat pumps, which use energy-efficient technology to heat and cool your home. We also offer rebates on appliances and smart accessories like smart plugs and smart switches. Really, for anything that draws electricity in your home, we usually have some type of rebate to offer you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
Randolph Medical Clinic is known for comfortably treating acute and chronic conditions as well as mental health. Nurse practitioner Nancy Weston is known for providing compassionate care. Appointments can be made by texting 435-200-5416. Randolph Medical Clinic.
It is now time for our standout student segment, and I am here with Ashlyn Stevens. Ashlyn, how are things going for you today?
Pretty good.
Good. Well, we've got a lot of fun things to talk about, seeing as you are just coming off the state championship last week. In fact, I just got done interviewing your head coach, and we talked a lot about it, so it'll be good to hear your perspective on things. But first of all, how is your junior year going?
It's going pretty good.
Is it a weird feeling that you've only got like a year and a half left of high school?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Besides the state championship, because we'll talk about that in a minute, besides that, what have been some highlights of your junior year so far?
Just hanging out with all my friends. It's been a super fun year just to we've really had some fun experiences.
Just the social aspect of things has been really good so far.
Yes.
Awesome. So what classes are you taking this trimester?
I have History 1700, a nutrition class, and Music 1010 from Utah State. And then I just have Math and English from the school.
So it sounds like you're working towards your associate's degree.
Yes.
And Ashlyn, do you know what you want to do after high school?
Yes, I want to become a dental hygienist.
Oh, awesome. What draws you to that career field?
I've just always thought it was super interesting and been fascinated with teeth and everything.
Yeah. Do you know what college you'd like to go to?
Thinking Dixie right now, or Utah Tech.
Last week, you guys were able to go down and win your second straight state championship. What was that like, going down and competing once again and being able to bring home the first place trophy?
We were super nervous because there was some pretty hard competition this year. Gearing up, and we were like ready for any outcome to happen. It was super stressful. When our stunt didn't hit in our first routine, we were like, oh boy, we have got to be perfect in these next two.
So what was the feeling? Cheerleading is very unique in that there's no scoreboard in terms of everyone knows where you're at and things. You're told by an announcement, right? If you win or not. What's that like, being there with your teammates awaiting that announcement?
It's one of the best feelings, but one of the scariest. It's so fun to just sit there and be like, okay, let's see how we did. But it's also super scary because you have no idea how those other teams did.
Talk to me about last year's state championship, as it was the first one for Rich High to have, and it was one where you guys really didn't know where you stood up until that announcement. What was that like, getting that announcement that you guys beat Tabiona for the first place finish?
It was a crazy feeling. We were all so excited, and we were just ecstatic.
Ashlyn, you were part of a dance company, XMD, out of Montpelier, which is known for being a very competitive and talented group. You transitioned from there to dancing and cheering at school with your classmates. What's that been like, transitioning from a club-type sport to a school sport?
It was a pretty big change, different people, and just the atmosphere, honestly. I mean, you make friendships, but not really. But here, like, you're a family, and it's just like a crazy difference of how connected you feel to this team.
Winning state championships with your friends and those that you go to school with.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Ashlyn, I always like to finish these interviews with asking you, is there a teacher that's had a positive impact on your life that these last few years that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Probably Coach Lundgren.
What is it about Coach Lundgren that's helped you in your career?
He's just always been there for me. He's been super supportive, and I know I can talk to him about anything.
He is a good one. Well, Ashlyn, thanks for taking time out of your day to talk with me, and congratulations on that second straight state championship, and good luck this week. I know that you guys are doing the much anticipated little girls cheerleading. I've got 2 daughters that are doing it who have been very excited, so good luck doing that this week.
Thank you.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
When was the last time you got to stay at a hotel that had an indoor waterfall and a fish pond? Or a hotel with a swimming pool, a baby pool, and 5 hot tubs? At the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming, you'll get all of this, plus an amazing complimentary breakfast. You can even reserve a suite with a private jacuzzi for 2. The rates are so affordable that every time you're in Casper, you and the whole family can stay without breaking the bank. The best hotel in Casper is the Come On In and Suites. Make your reservations today and come on in.
Inside of the arc, that's a 58%. Unfortunately, the knock on the Rebels, 0 for 7 from three-point land so far tonight, which gives them 45% overall shooting. They are 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and Bradley, once again, not a lot of free throws shot in this game since the Longhorns have not shot a free throw yet. They are 3 of 18 from inside the arc and 1 of 2 from three-point land. They are shooting overall 20%, and as I mentioned, no free throws yet. On the rebounds, Rich is leading the board 17-14. 6 offensive boards apiece. Bray Pugmire for the Lady Rebels, 7 rebounds, and leading the Longhorns, number 20, Hazley Bagley, was 7. Probably the other stat that stands out to me from the first half, Bradley, would be 14 turnovers from the Longhorns. A lot of that has to do with the pressure defense from the Rebels. Only 5 for Rich on the turnovers, but a lot of that is just a little bit seem like they feel rushed. Got to get rid of the ball out of their hands, and sometimes their teammates are not ready for the ball, or the pass is over their head, or or into a crowd. So,
well, thank you for that. Those highlights of the first half, Rob, and we are about 2 minutes away from tip-off. Well, from the start of the second half, excuse me. And we'll be back after this. Thanks for tuning in to My Local Radio and 98.3 KDQ-FM to Lady Rebel Basketball.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
When was the last time you got to stay at a hotel that had an indoor waterfall and a fish pond? Or a hotel with a swimming pool, a baby pool, and 5 hot tubs? At the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming, you'll get all of this, plus an amazing complimentary breakfast. You can even reserve a suite with a private jacuzzi for 2. The rates are so affordable that every time you're in Casper, you and the whole family can stay without breaking the bank. The best hotel in Casper is the Come On In and Suites. Make your reservations today and come on in.
Welcome back. We're just ready to start the second half. Rob, let's run us through that scoring sheet from the first half.
Bray Pugmire with 4, Paige Smith with 3, Brindley Hatch with 8, Molly with 10, all in that second quarter. Lacey McKinnon with 2, Dottie Morse with 2 for the Longhorns. Hazley Bagley with 2, Jada Miles with 2, and Chesney Bywater with the lone 3-pointer, and Layton with 2 as well to give the Longhorns their 9 points.
And there you have it. And we are just ready to get to the second half underway here with the Rebels up 29-9 to start things off here. And Weston has the ball, and she finds a cutting Smith. Great pass and finish from Weston to Smith to start things off. And that will give the Rebels a 31-9 lead, and Smith's going to get called with the early foul here.
Just a little extra bump. First one on the Rebels in the quarter.
So you see why I've had the classes wrong the whole time. It's all shifted up.
Yep,
so I've been wrong on the class, on the ages of each girl. So the Rebels able to get a steal on the other end and taking it back to their end. Jolly, a great find to Pugmire, and Pugmire able to score. That's what we were missing yesterday, Rob, was that ball movement and able to find the open man underneath. And that's giving credit to North Summit for their great defense. But the Rebels back to true form tonight. With Pugmire getting another bucket there on the steal on the full court press. Weston gets a tip too, but this time keeps in possession of Altamont.
Kara with good hands again. They're going to get it with a foul. I think that's her second.
So good aggressive defense nonetheless. 7:03 to go in the third. Rebels with a commanding lead of 35-9.
Scoreboard only has her with 1, so somebody's off, and that would probably be me.
Well, good news for Kira, as just 1 foul being recorded so far. Altamont was still with possession as they're working it around. 28 on the shot clock. Carter with it, and she passes to Miles. Miles drives baseline and defended by Jolly, and she puts a shot up, and that goes off the side backboard and out of bounds. The Rebels will get the ball back. Weston takes it across half court. She finds Smith on the wing. Smith left wide open for a three and just off the front iron. Rebounded by both Hatch and Miles. Jump ball that will be given back to Altamont as the Rebels started with the ball.
Still looking for that first three-pointer to go down tonight.
That's true. Yeah, we haven't had a three-pointer, have we? Ball is stolen on the other end. Pugmire steals the ball, and she's going to stop short at the block. Weston now has it on the right wing. She's going to take an open three, and there it is, Rob.
I just wanted to call it.
Weston with the three, 38-9 now. Altamont takes it to the other side. Miles has it across, being guarded by Weston. Good defense there by Kira as she tips that pass on the wing. Altamont does keep possession. Jolly again tips away a pass. And just another good defensive play by Pugmire as Miles tries to go baseline and steps out of bounds while doing so. Not given much breathing room because of Pugmire's defense there.
3 subs for the Longhorns.
Weston gets the ball and crosses half court. She dribbles to her left. Gives to Pugmire up top. Pugmire looks for Weston, who was cutting, but credit to number 11, Sadie McConkey, as she cut off Weston on that cut. And I was looking down at the roster. Was that a jump ball?
Yep, jump ball, and it'll stay with the Rebels.
Rebels with the ball underneath. Jolly to inbound. She finds Paige Smith open at the top. Smith for three, and there's another one, Rob.
Broke the ice, and there you go.
What's the opposite of a commentator jinx? Because you put the good vibes out there.
Going to get the 5th turnover on the Longhorns this quarter.
5:34 to go in the third quarter. The Rebels now 41-9. Weston gets it across half court and passes to Smith on the wing. Smith gets the Jolly up top. Jolly tries to get it into Pugmire, but that is tipped away by McConkey and taken the other way. Weston nearly steals it as it crosses half court, but Altamont keeps possession. Altamont swinging it around the perimeter, and they'll go baseline and fouled on the shot. That's number 21, Mackley Carter. She's going to go to the line to shoot two.
And that will be Kira's second foul. First free throws for the Longhorns in the ball game.
But on your count, it's her 4th foul.
No,
so
I was going to have her with 3, so.
I was going to say we could see on the next one if she fouls out or not. So Carter's first foul shot is up and just rims out. So one more coming on the way. 5:08 to go in the third quarter with the Rebels up 41-9.
Paige Smith with the rebound.
Hatch gets the ball at the foul line. She tries, and that is no good. Rebounded by the Longhorns, heading the other way.
And another turnover. That is number 6 on the Lady Longhorns this quarter.
So the ball inbounded to Weston. Weston takes it across. Inbounds it into the elbow to Pugmire. Pugmire turns and faces the basket, hands to Weston. Weston's going to drive to the hoop, and that one rattles in. 43-9 now for the Rebels. Altamont still trying to get to that double digits. Kira just fouled out. That was a foul on her.
She's just barely got that one. That is her 3rd, according to the scoreboard. And the 4th on the Lady Rebels, so the Longhorns will be in the bonus the rest of the half. Or rest of the quarter, which is halfway through.
Ball is inbounded at the elbow to Bagley. Bagley takes the shot. That is no good. Rebounded by Hatch. Hatch passes ahead to Smith. Smith finds an open Hatch again. Hatch turns to the basket, gets it to Jolly. Jolly to Weston up top. Weston drives to the basket and dishes to Pugmire on the baseline. 20 on the shot clock. Hatch now has it up top. Hands to Weston. 15 on the shot clock. 4:06 on the game clock. Smith has it on the right wing, and she's going to get fouled and go to the ground. That's going to be a foul on Lauren Thacker.
That is the first foul on the Longhorns in the quarter, and I do believe that is the first foul on Lauren.
Rich County trivia, that was a foul on a Thacker, which is the maiden name of Danelle Larson, who reigns from Altamont. So probably some relation there.
Actually, she's a relation to me. She's my cousin's daughter.
Get out of here.
I'm serious.
Small world. Ball is inbounded to Hatch. She misses, but rebounded by Smith, and the putback is good. 45-9 now, in favor of the Rebels. Ball is being rotated around the perimeter. Longhorns trying to get things going here before the end of the third quarter. Three ball is up and no good. Bagley fights for the rebound, as does Smith. They both scrum for the ball, and that will go out of bounds on the Rebels. And in for the Rebels is Lacey McKinnon and Brooke Crompton in for Hatch and Smith. Altamont inbounds. She finds an open man in Scott, but Scott not able to finish at the rim. And Altamont's going to take a timeout as they were all fighting for the ball there. So a wise timeout by Coach Wilkerson. We'll go to a quick break. When we come back, Rebels up 45-9. You're listening online at mylocalradio.com. It is time for our Bear Lake Fan Cam.
And now a message from the experts at Bear Lake Realty.
Welcome to Water's Edge, right downtown Garden City. Beachfront condos, close to the beach, close to downtown for your renters and the owners.
Thank you to Gary McKee and the team at Bear Lake Realty. If you are looking for a place to live in Bear Lake, reach out to Gary and his team at 435-946-8888. And we are back to the game now. Altamont, the inbound after that timeout. They get a nice open look from corner for three, but that is no good. Rebounded by Pugmire, and she gets it out to Weston. Rebels do have numbers. Weston finds Argyle in the corner. Argyle immediately broken down on, and they get it around to McKinnon. McKinnon, a nice three-pointer.
That's three in a row, Bradley.
Yep. So you said we didn't have any threes, and bang, bang, bang. You should say that I don't have $1 million. We'll see what happens after that. Pugmire gets the rebound, tries to get it ahead, and that's tipped away by Altamont from behind. So that'll remain in the Rebels' possession. Paige Smith's going to come in for Molly Weston here with 2:59 to go in the third. Ball is inbounded to Smith. She kicks it around to McKinnon on the left wing. McKinnon looking to the inside, but she'll pass it to Smith up top, then over to Argyle. Back to Smith, McKinnon on the left wing. She's going to try to enter it into Pugmire, but that's knocked away by Scott. Scott on the other end does get it on the block. She's trying to work her way through Crompton, but she's going to have to kick that back up to the top to Miles. Miles over to Bagley. Bagley enters it into Scott once again. Scott being defended by Crompton. She'll get fouled, so an and one play. Altamont able to get into double figures, and Taylor Scott's going to go to the line to shoot one here after the and one play.
Third free throw for the Longhorns, but they are 0 for 2. So we'll see what the broadcaster jinx does here, Bradley.
Scott's free throw is up and no good. Rebounded by Paige Smith. And she'll clear it out and bring it up easily across half court. She passed to Argyle on the left wing, then back up to Smith. Smith tries to enter it into Pugmire. That's knocked away into the hands of Scott. Scott gets it ahead. Miles gets it to the baseline to Scott, back to Miles. Miles for three, that just rims out, but Bagley there for the rebound and putback. Bagley gets the rebound and putback. 48-13 now, in favor of the Rebels. McKinnon passes to Smith up top. Smith over to Argyle. Argyle enters it into McKinnon. McKinnon no good, the jumper. Rebound attempted by Crompton, but that's knocked out of bounds by number 15, Lauren Thacker, relative of Rob Leifson. And Molly Weston into the game for Lacey McKinnon. Smith looking to enter. She gets it into Weston. Weston dribbles to her left. Over to Argyle on the opposite wing. Argyle finds a cutting Smith. Smith pump fakes, tries to go in. That's knocked away by Scott. Into the hands of Thacker. Thacker gets it ahead to Miles on the baseline. Miles to Bagley at the elbow. And Longhorns will reset things here with 1:15 to go in the third quarter. Bywater drove to the basket. That is no good. On the rebound, a jump ball. And so Altamont will keep possession under their own hoop. Inbound play coming up here. Thacker inbounds it to Miles, but it is tipped away by Smith. So that'll stay on this end of the floor with 31 seconds on the shot clock, 1:08 on the game clock. Thacker inbounds it to Bagley. Bagley dribbles into the key. She's going to go all the way and not able to finish. Attempted rebound by Smith and tipped away by Taylor Scott. And so the Rebels will get the ball back, heading the other way.
And you can credit Crompton, who was boxing out to keep Longhorn player to get to that rebound.
Yep, that was good defense on Bagley. Weston gets across half court, passes to Argyle on the left wing. Argyle back to Weston. Back and forth between Weston and Argyle, trying to find an opening underneath. Weston gives to Hatch at the elbow. Hatch kicks it back out to Smith and to Weston. Weston to Hatch. Hatch finds an open Argyle from the wing, and that is good. So a good amount of threes from what do we have, three different players?
Yep.
4 different players have hit threes. On the other end, Bywater tries to get one, and that is off the front rim. Rebounded by Hatch, then up to Weston, then to Argyle. Argyle finds Crompton at the basket, who is fouled on that attempt. And so she'll go to the line to shoot 2 with 18.5 seconds to go in the third quarter.
I think the foul is going to be on Hazley Bagley, her second. And only the third and fourth free throws for the Lady Rebels.
Crompton's shot is up and good. First of 2 foul shots is good, bringing the score 52-13. Crompton's second foul shot is up and off the front iron. Rebounded by Bywater, and she's going to take it the other way. She tries to get it underneath, but that is tipped by Cass Argyle into the hands of Weston, who passes it ahead to Smith. 6 seconds left on the clock. Smith tries to enter it into Hatch, and that goes right off of her hands and out of bounds. So 52-13 now, and the Longhorns could get a shot off, but they're not going to try for it. And so that'll end the third quarter with the score, Rich 52, Altamont 13. We'll go to a quick break, and after this, the start of the fourth quarter. Thank you for tuning in to 98.3 KDQ FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
If you've never heard a mechanic say they truly care, then you've been at the wrong place. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff is a family-owned and operated business open since 1992. Offering all types of maintenance and repair services, you can be sure your vehicle is operating at its best. Whether your vehicle is older or the newest model, gas or diesel, we fix and maintain them all. Also offering chip repair, windshield replacement, and tires. When your vehicle needs a mechanic, bring it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff.
Welcome back. We are just getting ready to start the fourth quarter of action here. The Rebels with a commanding lead of 52-13. Rob, any assessment you'd like to give going into the fourth quarter?
Well, the offense woke up in that third quarter, Bradley.
Yes,
it was 29-9, so they outscored the Longhorns 23-4 thanks to 4 3-pointers, and they were actually from 4 different players. Paige, Cass, Molly, and Lacey, all with a 3-pointer. So we're just looking for Kira to get one, because those are the 5 that we were talking about in the pregame show that seemed to light it up from beyond the arc. So there's my broadcaster hope for Kira.
Yeah, well, chances are high Kira back in the game, and she can make them. Weston passes it over to Smith up top. Smith dribbles to her left. Finds Weston inside. Weston, great pass to Dottie and great finish by Dottie. Dottie been had a great last few games, Rob. At Tabiona, she came out and did a good job, and then yesterday in a tough game came in and contributed and had a good game today too. And there she is again as she gets the steal and passes it ahead to Weston. That pass is stolen by Bagley, and Bagley now going the other way, and she's going to fall to the ground. We'll see who they give that to.
Going to give it to Paige, I do believe. Yep. First foul of the quarter and her third.
And Rob, just to make note, we are in the what we call a mercy rule, so we're running clock here until the score gets a little bit closer. So Altamont looking to inbound. They try to get into Bagley, but that's tipped away by a few. Kira Jolly ends up with it. She takes it away from Rigby and gets it ahead to Smith. Weston now has it on the left wing. She's going to dribble over and hand it to Jolly. Jolly to Smith. And Smith is going to pass it back to Jolly. Jolly to Weston. So again, coming up in our next game, the boys will be playing Altamont just directly following this game. So tune in for our quick post-game show and then into our pregame show. That was slated to tip off at, no, we're actually on time. 5:30 is the scheduled tip-off, and we're about 25 minutes from there. So make sure and stay tuned in for that, as the Rebels up 54-13 with just under 6 minutes to go here. Bagley has it underneath. She kicks it back out to Carter. Carter's three is no good. Rebounded by Jolly. And the ball is tipped out of bounds. And so the Rebels will keep possession with Jolly inbounding to Weston. Weston will walk it up. She gets it to Jolly on the wing. Jolly enters it into Morse. Morse back out to Jolly. Rebels getting some good ball movement here. Smith finds Jolly, and then Jolly to Morse. That may be my favorite play that the Rebels do. That high-low look has just been potent all year long, and you saw it again there from the Jolly to Morse connection. Jay Lutz has subbed into the game since, and she's going to get a hustle foul there. As she came up from behind, knocked the ball away. They're going to credit her with a foul, her first foul.
And the second on the Lady Rebels in the quarter.
Miles, the inbounder for Altamont. She gets it into Bagley. Bagley kicks it out to Rigby. Rigby shot no good, rebounded by Carter. And Jolly able to get the rebound and pass it ahead to Argyle. Argyle tries to get it ahead to Morrison just through her hands. And out of bounds. (56-13) with 4:20 to go here. Smith able to steal it away. She passes that ahead to Argyle, just a little bit too late as that is knocked away and into the hands of Rigby. Rigby gets it across half court, being guarded by Argyle. Ball being worked around the perimeter for Altamont, trying to get some more points on the board before the end of this game. 3:53 to go in the game. Shot attempt is no good, but rebounded by Miles. Miles kicks it out to Jolly, and stolen by Jolly. She gets it to Argyle. Argyle hits Jolly again, and she is fouled on the layup, but she'll go to the line to shoot two here. And coming into the game, Lyda Taylor and Brooke Crompton, they'll sub in here shortly, as Jolly has two foul shots coming up here.
Coach Lungman wasn't aware that we were trying to get Kira a three. Got to get it old-fashioned way, but the shot did not drop, but she hits the first free throw.
So the first is good, 57-13 now. So once again, Lyda Taylor and Brooke Crompton into the game for the Rebels. Jolly's second foul shot is up and good as well. Just under 3 minutes to go here in this game. Bywater was looking for a man on the cut, and that was no good. Out of bounds, so the Rebels will take possession back. Jolly brings it across half court. Ball is tipped away into the hands of Lyda. Jolly with another great pass into Crompton. And that is good. Crompton with the finish, making it a score of 60-13.
And one more turnover. Going the other direction.
So I think Coach Lundgren there's no more to put in. Whole bench has been expensed, so I'm guessing this is our 5 that'll finish out this one with 2 minutes to go here. Lutz skips it over to Argyle. Argyle thought about the 3. She'll pass to Jolly. Jolly over to Lutz. Girls just working it around the perimeter here. Taylor gets it at the elbow. It's knocked away, but picked back up by Jolly. Taylor with it on the right wing. She passes to Lutz, and they're going to get Lutz with the travel going the other way.
Doubles up the turnovers in the first quarter, or the first half, with only 5. They got 10 in the second half.
So McConkey passes it over to Carter. Carter to Miles. McConkey with it again. McConkey, a popular name around these parts, wouldn't you say, Rob?
Yes.
Lutz gets the ball, passes it ahead to Jolly. Jolly up to Crompton. Ball is entered into Lyda, and Lyda loses the ball momentarily, and that is stolen by Altamont, by Bywater, and she's going to get fouled.
Kira's going to get her 4th. Then that may do it while the clock continues to run.
Yep, this may be our last possession here. Altamont with the inbound, 40 seconds on the clock. Miles puts up a 3, and that is good. Excuse me, that was Bywater.
Her
second 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah, she had one early on. 60-16 with 30 seconds to go. No shot clocks. The Rebels could, and it looks like they will, try to just dribble this one out. .13 seconds on the clock. Rebels just kind of dribbling this one out. They're working it around. Taylor has it on the wing, passes it to Argyle. 4 seconds left. Argyle will pick it up, and that will be it. And that is it with the score. Rebels 60, Longhorns 16. And we will go into our post-game show following the break with your player of the game and play of the game. And we'll be back after this.
Fast, fresh, delicious. 3 words that describe your experience every time you enjoy a delicious meal with Jimmy John's. Utilizing the freshest ingredients, home-baked bread, and professional sandwich building skills, the team at Jimmy John's always delivers a mouth-watering sandwich to satisfy any hunger. Jimmy John's. Freaky fast, freaky fresh. Visit any of our locations today in Evanston, Rock Springs, Sheridan, and Gillette.
Healthy teeth and gums affect your overall health, including the mental image you have of yourself. That's just one reason that good dental care and hygiene habits should begin at a young age. Healthy teeth mean fewer sick days from school and higher self-esteem. We all want our children to be successful. Teaching them healthy dental habits at a young age with regular cleanings and dental checks is part of the answer. Dr. McKay Frankum serves patients of all ages. Call today and schedule dental appointments for your family. Dr. McKay Frankum, providing precision family dentistry at affordable prices.
Make your day even better by indulging in delectable, freshly prepared classics at the Crawford Trough. Come enjoy succulent cheeseburgers, rich raspberry shakes, crispy onion rings, or golden fries, and pair it all with our exclusive River Bridge soda. For another favorite, try a grilled chicken wrap or a yummy twisted ice cream cone. Make the perfect dining experience with our delightful Crawford Trough staff. Treat yourself to something delicious from the Crawford Trough in Randolph.
Established in 1872, Woodruff, Utah has a long history of good neighbors helping each other succeed. Woodruff was built with hard work, integrity, and a sense of community that can be felt every time you visit. We have always celebrated all students in academics and extracurricular activities, and we cheer on our Rich Rebels. Woodruff, Utah, a great place to live.
Dealing with computer problems can be frustrating and make you wish for your own personal IT guy. Now, everyone can afford an IT guy. Independent Software Solutions has served customers in Wyoming and Utah for over 20 years. We develop software, handle system and network administration, repair personal and business computers, and sell accessories. Independent Software Solutions is your one-stop computer business solution. Call today, 307-789-1978. Let Independent Software Solutions be your IT guy.
We are back. It is our Independent Software Solutions postgame show. Rob, let's give us a freaky fast recap brought to us by Jimmy John's, and then we'll segue that into our player of the game and play of the game.
Well, a little slow start for the Rebels offensively, only 13 points in the first quarter, but their defense held Altamont to just 2. In the second quarter, 16-7 for the Rebels in the quarter as far as scorings. Have a 29-9 halftime score, and the Rebels have been shooting 45% from the field. The Lady Longhorns 20. And then the third quarter, the offensive floodgates open up, and the Rebels outscore the Longhorns 23-4, which pretty much put this game in the old refrigerator. And then a running clock in the fourth quarter pretty much finishes it off pretty quickly for a final of 60-16.
And then that will take us to our D. McKay Frankham precision play of the game, and we have a few that all involved Kira Jolly's assisting. She had some great passes, especially from that high-low spot. She was always able to find an open post and thread the needle, so a good handful of assists from Kira. And then, Rob, what do you have for us for the Crawford Trough player of the game?
We'll give that to Molly Weston. So 2 rebounds, but she scores 10 points in that second quarter, 5 in the third. And she was really the offense. Her and Brindley were really the only ones that were scoring there in that second quarter. Third quarter, everybody got into the act. Much better three-point shooting by the Lady Rebels, but we'll give the player of the game to Molly Weston for tonight. 15 points, 2 rebounds.
She did get things going after that slow start to make it so the Rebels could just move forward without looking back. We're going to segue into our pregame show for the boys. I was able to catch up with Coach Lex Corney this week. We'll go there, and then we're about 11 minutes from tip-off.
Welcome back, and Coach, we're going to wrap up here, but I haven't gotten a chance to talk to you since the Tabiona-Altamont trip. I would be amiss if I didn't bring up Ridge's performance at Tabiona, and I'm not talking about the amounts of points he scored. We've seen him do that time and time again, but the effort he showed with a sickness going on, beating Lee Gines on his home floor with your guard and a garbage can, that has to go down in the history books of this Tabiona-Ridge rivalry.
Tabiona Ridge, we're going back a long ways. I remember going with Coach Jerry Holmes when I was a manager in middle school to scout Tabby at Green River, and when they first came in our region. So, I mean, I don't know where that game ranks last weekend, but it's definitely in the top third. You know, I watched Lee. He knows that we're going to play at least 2 and maybe 3 more times. And, you know, that's the thing with the region tournament, and then with, you know, the entire season coming down to state, it's just a January game. And I think that's the way that their players are approaching it. Yeah, it's emotional in the moment. They know they're going to see us again, once on our floor and then twice more on neutral. Probably. I just thought that, you know, I looked at his demeanor on the bench, and he knows that the final say has yet to been said. So he knows that it's a process, and he's going to see us again. And I would be more than willing to lose to a team 3 times if the 4th time you beat them is in the last game of the year.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. That was chapter 1 of a pretty entertaining novel this year with Tabiona. So, Coach, as we finish up, you had a team that's been able to, we've talked about it before, but have a different kid step up on different nights. I mean, we've seen it almost every game that's been a different kid. Carter Scott's had a hot hand at Tintic. They worked hard to bottle him up, and others stepped up, including those on the bench. So what's that meant this year to be able to rely on that?
we've just bought into how hard it makes us to prep for. Yeah, I mean, we are a very difficult scout. And, in the past on teams at Rich that I've coached, I'd say there's usually one or two kids that, man, if you can limit them, then you limit the entire team. And this year you have to pick your poison. And that, we've really just pushed that, man, when your teammate is going off, it's setting you up for the next game. And I think they've really bought into that I try to let them see the game through the eyes of a coach a little bit. And I've said, man, what defense would you play against us? What would you do to neutralize us? And they look at me and they go, well, that's pretty tough because everybody in this room can play ball. Mm-hmm. And I said, exactly. And the more we share the ball, our assists are up huge. And, our assist to turnover ratio is unbelievable. We're taking care of the ball really well right now, knock on wood. I just think that, we are a difficult prep. Now, can we go cold? You bet. But, the odds of having another Cokeville game where every kid on the floor is struggling to find the basket is pretty low. I think that's a one-off game. Again, knock on wood. But yeah, you look at our numbers, really balanced. And we went on the road and beat Tabby without a 4-year starter and team captain in Carter Hoffman.
And will he be back this week?
He's getting evaluated, but yeah, it'll either be this week or next, just kind of basing off of the improvement that he's had before. I mean, obviously he needs to get cleared by a doctor, but the silver lining of him being gone is not only is his head healing, but I think his body is also healing. And to have a player like him coming back at the end of the season who will be 100%, physically healthy. Obviously we need to get his head there too, but just let that body recover. I mean, he's been going to practice every day since July 28th, I believe. You were kind of relying on him to be fresh and to not be sore and to be able to jump and run and not have that toll of an entire season on your body pulling him down. So I think our brightest days are ahead of us, and you'd never design it like this. You'd never want a kid to get a concussion and have to sit out games, but there is definitely some positive that comes from that too.
Well, Coach, we wish you good luck this week with both Altamont and Windover, and we'll catch up next week as it'll be Manila and Tabby, I believe, in Big Piney. So 2 full weeks of some awesome basketball. So good luck, and
thanks, Bradley.
Bear Lake Memorial Hospital provides safe, effective, high-quality health care. With many specialty services, Bear Lake Memorial serves patients from prenatal to geriatric. When you need imaging services, including mammograms, CT, and other specialized tests, the MRI suite accommodates patients of all sizes. The large windows provide natural light to help patients have an even better scanning experience. For a complete list of services offered, visit us online at blmhospital.com. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth.
Quality is the one thing that you can always count on when you do business with Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. Whether you're looking for strong, high-quality cement for construction, sand and gravel for road base, a cement trough or critter ladder for your livestock, or steel fabrication, including custom towing packages, bumpers, and other vehicle accessories, you always get high-quality products and friendly, knowledgeable service at Ellingford's. Stop in today, 199 County Road, Evanston.
We are back now. Happy to be able to catch up with Coach Cornea earlier this week. Rob, let's go over some keys to the game as we're about 6 minutes away from tip-off. Obviously, the Rebels taking on a team in Altamont that has not seen a ton of success this year, but talk to me through some keys to the game today.
Well, when they met 2 weeks ago, Bradley, the Rebels jumped out to 50-28 at halftime, thanks to 25 points per quarter. And so I would say, like the ladies' game, a quick start would be key. We saw that last night with the Lady Braves. They were able to jump out quick on the Lady Rebels, and that does a little bit to your confidence and kind of puts the ball game in a different mode. I'd say the other key would be the rebounds. Carter Scott, that is, and Riggs Lundgren, the guard line, average 11 boards a game, Bradley. Daniel Smith leads the team in the offensive boards, but the rebounds, I think, are always key. Altamont does have a little bit of size underneath, so that will be key. And third, you can't talk about the Rebels this year without talking about the 3-ball. Carter Scott shooting 43% from beyond the arc, Bradley.
I believe
and
it.
you have Drake Weston shooting 32 and Ridge Lundgren shooting 33, especially with how he struggled early on in the season. You have 3 guys shooting over 30% from beyond the arc. That is big. And they're not the only ones who hit it. They're just the ones that have the higher percentages.
Well, and to add to that, when I was talking to Coach Corney this week, we've got 4 guys averaging double digits. So top to bottom, Ridge, Drake, Carter Scott, Carter Hoffman, all averaging over 10 points a game according to the Huddle app that they use. And after that, there's a handful that are in the 5 to 6 point range. So I think the Rebels are hard to scout for, and Coach Corney and I talked about that, how valuable that is, that it's not just 1 or 2 guys you need to stop, because if you do, there's other options. And we've seen that almost every game. Like, I honestly couldn't tell you, Rob, who's going to go off today, who's going to have a good game, but I do know that someone will. That's something that's been proven, is that other than that one Cokeville game,
where everybody was off,
where everyone was off, other than that, we've always had somebody that has stepped up. When Ridge went through that slump, as you call it in basketball, 3 or 4 games, he had plenty of other guys to rally around him. And then the last few games, Ridge has been the one that's been, ever since his Tabierona game where he was puking, he has been nonstop. And one other note I want to make, I was really happy to see Daniel. He scored 12 points last week. He's been a force on the boards, not so much scoring-wise, but last week he came alive against a good Tintic team. So I'd like to see him get involved offensively again today, because you know as well as I do that in basketball, if the 3-ball's not going, you have to have a post game, and Daniel's more than capable, as we saw last week.
Right. We did mention he leads the team in offensive boards, but you're right, him and Riker Hoffman are kind of that second scoring line. Max Preps has Carter Hoffman with 9.2, so I guess the Huddle app gives him a little bit of a bump.
Gave him an edge.
Yeah, gave him an edge. Rounded that up to 10, but you're right. Carter Scott averaging 12 a game. Ridge 14.5, Drake Weston 13.3, so, and then Carter with 9.2. But you're right. The thing that surprises me though is when you look at the rebounds coming from that guard line.
Right.
That's not common, and that leads to some quick offense, because you got the ball in the hands of your passers, and that's getting the ball down the court pretty quick. The Rebels have always been quick on transition, and that's always another key that you can throw in there.
Well, and going back to, because that's a great stat you give for the guard line, having so many rebounds. I'll give Drake his flowers of rebounding so well and not being super tall, but the other 2, it helps so much to have tall guards like that to be able to get so many rebounds out there. So kudos to Drake, that standing at 5'7", he plays like he's 5'10" or 5'11" when it comes to rebounds, and then to have Ridge and Carter Scott, who are so long. And I'll make note also, Rob, that we are excited to see Carter Hoffman out there back playing out of that concussion protocol. So we hope that he stays healthy, not just for the sake of having him, but for his long-term longevity with those concussions. We hope that he's seen the end of them.
Yep, I would agree. It's amazing how basketball is not uncommon to get a concussion in basketball, but that adds to the front line of the Rebels so much, because of it. He's another beast on the boards underneath, and he has a good post game. Not to mention the fact that he can hit it from the 3-ball as well.
Yep. So he's, it's not like I honestly am not looking at today's game like, well, Carter will make a huge difference, as I think we should be just fine today. But you look into next week, well, tomorrow with Wendover, a good team, it's going to be great to have Carter back for that one. And so hopefully today's a good way just to transition back into the game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night's game. Wendover took Tabiona to a double overtime game, and regardless of what Deseret News has online, Tabiona did win the game by a point, but that should be a ball game tomorrow.
Well, let's go to the team intro, and then after that, we'll be ready for tip-off.
I'm Aiden Weston. I'm a junior, and I play guard.
Paxton Nicodemus. I'm a sophomore, and I play guard.
Dylan Fonsbeck. I'm a junior, and I play forward.
I'm Carter Scott. I'm a junior, and I play guard.
Carter Grohl, junior, forward.
Cade Nelson, junior, forward.
Ridge Lundgren. I'm a junior, and I play guard.
Dylan Wasden, junior, forward.
My name is Jet Holmes. I'm a junior, and I play point guard.
My name is Riker Hoffman. I'm a shooting guard, and I'm a senior.
Carter Hoffman, shooting guard, senior.
Drake Weston, senior, guard.
Daniel Smith, senior, forward.
Dax Jolly, small forward, freshman.
Connor Creel, I'm a sophomore, and I play guard.
Wyatt O'Malley, I'm a freshman, and I'm a guard.
Wyatt Tingy,
freshman, guard.
Bodie O'Malley, sophomore, center.
My name is Nash Perry, and I am a freshman, and I play guard.
I'm Valen Cornia. I'm a freshman, and I play guard.
Hunter Cordia. I'm a freshman, and I play center.
Connor Argyle. I'm a freshman, and I'm a center.
Hi, I'm Tess Cornia. I'm a junior and I'm a base.
I am Ashlyn Stevens. I'm a junior and I am a flyer.
Hi, I'm Quincy Call. I'm a freshman and I'm a base.
My name's Carly England. I'm a junior and I'm a flyer.
I'm Chaisley Levitt, back spot and sophomore.
Avery Weston, junior, side base.
Hi, I'm Bryn Christensen. I'm a sophomore and a back spot.
I'm Kelsey Heiner. I'm a sophomore and I'm a base.
I'm Myra Carlisle. I'm a freshman and I'm a base.
My name is Jordan Reese. I am a freshman and I am a base.
I'm Cassie Argyle. I'm a senior and I'm a base.
Hi everyone, my name is Camry Call. I'm a senior at Ridge High and I'm a back spot.
I'm Joss Ennis. I'm a senior and I'm a flyer.
Welcome back. We are just getting ready to tip off here the second of the doubleheader today. Lady Rebels taking care of business earlier today, 60-16 off the back of Molly Weston's 15 points. And the boys now ready to take care of business as well. Starting for the Rebels today, Daniel Smith, Drake Weston, Ridge Lundgren, Carter Hoffman, and Carter Scott. And once again, very excited to see Carter Hoffman back in action today.
Here's your starters for the Longhorns: Braden Jessen, Thatcher Rust, Briggs Wall, Luke Two, and Stanton Winterton.
And we will start things off here. Altamont winning the tip. And Winterton gets it over to Jessen. Jessen on the left wing. Jessen's going to go to the hole. He hands off. Winterton has a clear lane, and he is going to get fouled. So already Rebels had a little bit of cobwebs to start things off. So hopefully it doesn't last long. But
going to catch Carter Hoffman with the reach on there on the drive. But that was a wide open lane to the hoop.
So interesting, Rob. Altamont already sending a player to sub in.
Maybe it's something to do with the tip.
It's got to be. That's all that's really happened. First is up and good for Winterton. Altamont taking an early lead of 1-0. Winterton's second is up.
Going to get a lane violation on Carter Hoffman, so not only the foul, but he's going to give Winterton a second try at the free throw.
So poor Carter, not the debut he wanted.
Nope. Maybe he's still a little
little loopy.
Little effects.
He'll get back into it. Second foul shot, no good. Rebounded by Smith. Gets it out to Carter. Scott to Drake. Drake gets it into Lundgren, but Lundgren steps out of bounds. And so Winterton, there's got to be something up with his jersey or something, but number 22, his last name's T-E-W, number 20. He's into the game for Altamont. Altamont, some good ball movement, but a great block there from Ridge as Wall tries to put one up. But nonetheless, Altamont 1-0 lead here to start the first half of action. Ball is entered in, a quick inbound to Sorensen. That is no good. Ball is taken by Carter Scott the other way and defended and tipped away by the Longhorns. And Jessen with the ball, he'll go across half court. Stolen initially by Weston, but tipped out of bounds by Jessen. And so the Rebels do keep possession after that Weston steal. And Scott inbounds it to Weston. He'll dribble to his left across half court, hand to Lundgren. Lundgren to Scott. Scott thinks about it, hands to Weston. Weston's going to try for three from corner, and that just rims out. Rebounded by Sorensen, handed to Jessen, head the other way. So definitely a slow start for the Rebels offensively. Usually some points on the board by now, but we'll see what adjustments are made to get things rolling here as Riker Hoffman's going to head to the table to check in for the Rebels. Inbounded to Sorensen at the elbow. He'll take a shot. That is missed. Initially rebounded by Lundgren, but tipped off of his foot out of bounds as Riker's going to come in for Carter. So we're at the 6:37 mark, yet to see a score from the Rebels as 2 looks to inbound. He'll inbound it to Wall. Wall off the mark on that shot. Rebounded by Scott. Passed ahead quickly to Lundgren. Lundgren's going to go all the way to the hoop and tries to hand off at the last minute, but is knocked away by Altamont and out of bounds. So the Rebels will keep possession. Lundgren, the inbounder. He is looking great still there from Daniel, and there's that post play that we talked about, Rob, as Daniel gives the Rebels a lead of 2-1 after that short basket. 2 gets it across half court. He passes it ahead to Smith, and Smith will get fouled on the attempted transition pass. And so the Rebels will keep possession on the other side of the half court line.
Fouls on number 11, Briggs Wall. He's a junior. That is his first and the first on the Longhorns.
Ball is inbounded to Weston. Weston brings it across half court. He's going to dribble right past Rust and to the hoop. Great finish there for Drake. 4-1 now in favor of the Rebels. Jessen into Rust, then back to Jessen. Jessen breaks the press by getting it to Wall, and Wall skip passes it to 2. And Rust back to Jessen. Jessen 4-3, and that is good.
He leads the team with 12 points a game, Bradley.
Good start for the Longhorns, tying it up 4-4 here early on in the first. Weston now has on the baseline, and he is going to bounce that off of one of his extremities because it was called out on him. Giving the ball back to the Longhorns as the Rebels are in a full court press. And Lundgren able to intercept that, and a great pass to Drake, but Jessen is there for the block. Good athletic play there as Altamont able to get it back down the floor. So, Rob, I want to make a note of something. I came and watched some of the Rebels practice yesterday as Lundgren goes for 3, and that is no good. Coach Corney told him at the end of practice, hey, guys, every team's going to play their best game against you because you're number one. That's just how it goes. Teams are always going to play great against you. And he said Altamont's going to play the best game of the year against you tomorrow. And we're seeing that as Altamont gets another score to go up 8-4 against the Rebels.
Going to get...
Well, he called it on a 23, and there's not a 20, so it's 20, I guess.
Yeah, 20.
I thought he was calling a timeout for Altamont. That was kind of weird. Scott for the 3, and that is no good. Attempted rebound by Ridge, and he'll go out of bounds. And so the Rebels starting off very slow, 4:55 to go in the first, down 4. Ball is inbounded into 2. 2 gets it ahead to Jessen. Jessen to Rust. Rust to Wall, and Wall to Sorensen. Wow. That may be the best play that Altamont's had all year. That was a great transition play there to break the press. Ball is given to Daniel. Daniel to Riker. Riker for 3, and that is good. A much-needed 3 from Hoffman to pull the Rebels within 3. Sorensen gets it across half court and hands to 2. 2 over to Rust, and then Rust to Jessen, guarded by Lundgren on the left wing. He's going to dribble to his right, being pressured by a bunch of Rebels, but able to finish at the basket with his left hand. Weston immediately gets it ahead to Lundgren. And Lundgren, they're going to call a jump ball, so the Rebels will keep possession under their own basket. .409 to go in the first. Rebels down 5, 12-7 for Altamont. Lundgren inbound. He is looking, and he's going to hit Scott up top. And Scott hands to Weston. Weston dribbles to his left. Hands to Scott. Scott for 3. It is up and good. Carter Scott, just a great season from the 3 line, and there is another one for him. Lundgren tips it on the full court press, but Jessen able to keep it alive. And he dribbles to his left. He's going to go all the way to the hoop. Great defense there by Daniel, causing the miss. Rebound by Scott. Scott tries to get ahead to Drake, but that is intercepted by Rust. And Rust gives it to Jessen. Jessen will miss at the basket. Scott rebounds and takes it all the way back, and he's going to go for the old-fashioned 3 here, as that layup will tie things at 12, and he'll go to the line to shoot 1. 12-12 with 3:29 to go in the first. Carter Scott going to the line to shoot 1. Scott's free throw is up and good. He has not missed many of those this year.
No, he is not.
you have his percentage?
I can look.
Yeah, let's look that up later on. At 2, gets it across half court, dribbling to his right. He looks for the roll man in Sorensen, broken up by Riker. Riker gets it ahead to Lundgren, and Lundgren, he's going to get fouled on the layup attempt. No good, so he'll go to the line to shoot 2. So things are starting to roll for the Rebels now, offensively.
Foul was on Thatcher Rust, his first.
So Lundgren's first foul shot is up and no good. Second foul shot for Ridge is up and this time good. So that'll make it a 14-12 game in favor of the Rebels. Altamont looking to break the press. Jessen passes it ahead to Winterton, who's now back in the game. Winterton hands to Rust. Back to Winterton. He dribbles to his right off the screen. His screen man falls in the meantime. That's Wall. And Drake tries to get it ahead to Lundgren, but just too much on that pass to Ridge and just out of reach for him.
How would you like to be 90% from the free throw line there, Bradley?
Is that what Carter's shot is? Yeah, I knew it had to be pretty dang high.
That's a travel.
Yep. Rust was a little bit too worried about ducking his head there into Lundgren or into Weston, and they'll get him for a travel there.
That's 5 turnovers apiece for both teams so far.
2:41 to go in the first. Weston brings it across half court, passes to Lundgren. Lundgren gets it into Smith. Smith hands to Weston. Weston's going to take the long 2, and that is no good. Rebounded by Wall. Heading the other way as they hand it to Jessen. Jessen hands to Sorensen. Sorensen takes the baseline jumper to tie this one up 14-14. Weston gets it ahead in transition and hands to Lundgren. Lundgren pump fakes, drives to the hole, and they're going to get a foul. I believe they're going to say I was on the ground as he was passing it. No, they're going to say he was shooting it.
Thatcher Rust with his second foul. That is 5 for the visitors regardless. But they're giving him 2 shots, not 1 and 1.
So Ridge's first is up and good. All 15-14 now. So that was Rust's second, right?
Yep.
Lundgren with another foul shot on the way, and that is up and off the mark. Ridge is also a great free throw shooter, so 2 uncharacteristic misses so far today on his 2 trips to the line. 2 passes over to Winterton. Winterton dribbles to his left. Gets it over to Sorensen. Sorensen wisely, as soon as he touches it, puts it up for a shot as his arms were tangled up, so he's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
Ridge shooting 75% from the free throw line this year, Bradley. Foul's going to go on Daniel Smith, his first.
2 minutes exactly to go in this game, in this first quarter, not game. Sorensen's first is up and no good.
Sorensen already with 6 points in the ball game.
Sorensen's second is up and no good. Wall gets the rebound. Lundgren skied for it, but just missed it and into the hands of Wall. Jessen got the ball and goes up for it. Gets his own rebound and finishes. Jessen's been impressive so far, Rob, as he puts his team up by 1 now after that make. Lundgren with the long 3. Pretty. That was a great shot by Ridge. Put the Rebels up 2, 18-16. Jessen gets it over to Winterton. Winterton drives to his left and hands to 2. 2's going to try for 3. That one is off the mark. And Sorensen's going to tip that one out and give it back to the Rebels. Scott's going to bring it up this time. He gets the inbound from Lundgren. He crosses half court, passes to Lundgren. Lundgren looking, he'll get it to Smith. On the left wing, Smith drives all the way to the hole and not able to finish. And rebounding and going the other way for Altamont with a minute to go in the first. Rebels up 2, 18-16. Winterton gets a lane, drives to the hole, and that is no good. tipped out a long ways into the hands of Two. Two misses that long two-pointer, and Lundgren gets the rebound, passes it ahead to a streaking Smith. A great play there from Lundgren to Smith in transition. Daniel only has to take one step to get to the rim and finish. 20-16 now. 28 on the shot clock, 32 on the game clock. So 4 seconds is only separating a game and shot clock. Lundgren tries to jump the pass to Jessen, and the pass gets just past him. They're going to call an offensive foul, I believe, on Wall on that rebound off the miss. So a foul on the rebound will give the ball back to the Rebels. Ooh, that's Wall's third. So Briggs Wall with his third foul in the first quarter.
And the referees are having a little powwow. It is an offensive foul. Well, it's not going to give you free throws, correct? Or they...
Yeah, so I don't think it was what they called...
It wasn't a player control. It was a foul on the rebound. Yeah.
Yep. So it will send Carter Scott to the line to shoot two.
They were asking who's going to shoot. Let's send the guy that shoots 90% from the from the free throw line to the.
And it looks like Altamont is wisely going to sub in Porter Whiting in for I would imagine Wall, Briggs Wall. Yep, he's going to come out. He's going to have to sit for a minute having 3 fouls. So Carter's first was up and good. He'll attempt a second here. His second foul shot is up and good. 22-16, Rebels with a 6-point lead now with 21 seconds to go in the first quarter. Whiting gets it across, being guarded by Smith. He's going to hand that off to Winterton. Winterton hands to Sorensen. Sorensen to two. Two's going to take a three, and that is off the mark with 5 seconds. Riker gets it ahead to Drake, and Drake tries to save it, but that goes out of bounds. And so Altamont will get one last shot at this with 1.4 seconds on the clock.
Porter Whiting that came into the ball game, Bradley, only a freshman.
I believe Two, that's number 20. I believe he's a freshman or sophomore as well.
He is.
So ball's inbounded to Sorensen. They're not going to be able to get this off. So that is the end of the first quarter with the Rebels up 22-16. An impressive quarter from Altamont based off of past matchups and how the season's gone so far. So we'll see what happens here. Does Altamont keep up the fight, or are the Rebels able to pull away before the end of the first half? You're listening to Rebel Basketball online at mylocalradio.com and listening in at 98.3 KDQ FM.
The town of Garden City is home to beautiful Bear Lake, where families play together. We welcome you to Garden City and invite you to visit bearlake.org for places to explore and information on upcoming events year-round. The town of Garden City welcomes you as we cheer on the Rich Rebels.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
We are back to start the second quarter as Altamont starts with the ball as Jessen has it on the right wing. He's going to enter that into Sorensen, who passes it over to Winterton. Winterton gets it into Jessen from the baseline. How many does he have so far, Rob? He's had a good first half.
He's got 11.
Yep. And so that he pulls his team within 4. But Dylan Fonsbeck into the game, and he gets to work right away as he gets a 2-pointer at the rim. Carter Hoffman able to steal that pass in transition. He'll get fouled underneath. So the Rebels will keep the ball on their end. And so a couple subs 3 subs at the end of the quarter. That's Dylan Fonsbeck, Jet Holmes, and Carter Hoffman in for Carter Scott, Daniel Smith, and Drake Weston.
Jessen's first foul of the ball game, Bradley.
If I'm Altamont, I want to make sure he's on the floor as much as possible. Ridge gets it in. Great inbound play. Gets it into Dylan Fonsbeck. And Fonsbeck able to finish at the basket. And Fonsbeck steals it away into the hands of Lundgren. And Jessen there to block Fonsbeck. But Fonsbeck comes right in, scores 4 points, gets a steal, and has had a rebound. So quick to contribute.
First quarter 2 weeks ago, Bradley 26-7 for the Rebels. This time you get 22-16, so a lot more offense out of Altamont, but that's because they took 14 shots in that first quarter.
Fonsbeck with another finish there to give the Rebels a 10-point lead. I think Dylan Fonsbeck wants to be the Crawford Trough player of the game and get one of those free meals we don't give out. Riker Hoffman on the defense there as Sorensen puts it up and misses. Holmes with the rebound. He brings it across half court, hands to Hoffman. Hoffman drives to the hoop, gets it to Fonsbeck, who makes one more pass to Hoffman. That is blocked by either Sorensen or Jessen. Regardless, Altamont taking it the other way as Two has it on the right wing. Passes to Jessen. Jessen for three. That is no good. Rebounded by Riker Hoffman. He'll hand to Ridge. Ridge going the other way. Now on the left wing. He finds Riker. Riker open at the top of the key for three. That is no good. Rebounded by Wall. Wall hands to Jessen. And Jessen will go all the way to the rim, keeping his club in it. I'm surprised to see Briggs Wall out there. He gets one more foul, and he's got 4. Three-point attempt is no good. Rebound by Sorensen, who hands to Two. Two passes it ahead, but that will be tipped by the Rebels and out of bounds. So into the game, Carter Scott and Drake Weston for Riker Hoffman and Ridge Lundgren. So on the floor for the Rebels, Hoffman, Fonsbeck, Scott, Weston, and Holmes. Good ball movement by the Longhorns. They get fouled on that shot attempt. So Briggs Wall is going to go to the line to shoot 2 to try to bring his side within 6.
And foul goes to Dylan Fonsbeck, his first, and the first on the Rebels in the quarter. Definitely bringing some energy off the bench for Fonsbeck.
Absolutely. Wall's first is up and good. Wall's second is up and just off, but rebounded by Jessen to put back. He's having a heck of a game. 5-point game, 28-23. His ball is passed ahead to Holmes, then to Hoffman. Hoffman finds Scott for 3. Scott's up and no good, and that will go out of bounds back to the Longhorns. Jessen does get it across. He finds an open man in Sorensen, but Sorensen kicks it back out to Winterton. Sorensen for a 2 on the baseline. That is no good. Rebounded by Hoffman, who gets it ahead to Weston. Weston to Scott. Scott for 3 from corner. No good. And rebounded by Jessen. And he does get it across half court. Passes over to Winterton. Winterton to Sorensen at the elbow. That is no good, but rebounded by Wall. Good hustle play there. So the Longhorns doing a great job hustling and staying in this one. Wall finds Sorensen at the block. That is no good. Tipped out of bounds by Sorensen. And so the Rebels will get the ball back, heading the other way.
Second quarter, 2 weeks ago, the Longhorns had some offense with 21 points. They're doing much better on the offensive end.
4:48 to go in the first half. Pick and roll between Weston and Fonsbeck. Weston finds Fons on the roll, and Fonsbeck able to finish. 30-23 now. Sorensen has it on the elbow, hands to Jessen. Jessen's going to drive in and just does not finish, but gets his own rebound. Kicks it back into Sorensen, and Sorensen's shot is no good. Fons gets the rebound, gets it ahead to Scott. Scott on the left wing. He's going to take a few dribbles and slow things down here. Holmes has it on the right wing, gets a screen from Hoffman. Holmes finds Hoffman on the roll, and they're going to get Hoffman with a travel.
Halfway through the second quarter, Bradley 30-23.
With 4:03 to go in the first half. 2 dribbles to the sideline, hands to Jessen. Jessen to Wall in the corner. Jessen will drive to the hoop. Good defense there from Hoffman, but a rebound and putback for Wall. My assessment so far, Rob, we're just not doing those hustle plays, like getting those rebounds. We're allowing a lot of putbacks, a lot of second chances for Altamont. And today, Altamont's a good enough team where they're going to finish on those second chances as Fonsbeck takes a 3. No good, tipped in the hands of 2. And 2 is going to dribble it up the floor. He passes ahead to Jessen. Jessen dribbles to his left. He's going to go all the way to the hole, but no good. Rebounded by Scott. Scott finds Weston ahead. Weston's going to go to the hole, and no good. Tries to draw the foul, but that'll be rebounded by Altamont heading the other way. Jessen has it on the wing. He passes to Sorensen up top. Sorensen hands to Winterton. Winterton drives into the key and kicks it out to Wall. Wall from the corner drives in. And there is a scrum for the ball, and it gets loose and hands to Weston. Weston not able to finish at the rim, and the Rebels just not having their same energy right now. As Wall gets it in the corner and tries to tip it in, but he'll go out of bounds. Smith and Lundgren into the game for Holmes and Fonsbeck. So Fonsbeck definitely did a great job with his time in there for those few minutes he was in. 2:33 to go in the first half. Rebels just up 5, 30-25. Scott has it up top, dribbles to his right, hands to Hoffman. Hoffman kicks it out to Lundgren. Lundgren pump fakes, he'll do a step back 3, and that is off. Rebounded by Scott, so shot clock is reset. And Scott gets it into Smith. Smith finds Hoffman for 3, and that is no good, but they're going to get Wall. That's his 4th foul.
That's his 4th, yep. Got him on the push underneath.
Yep, right in front of the ref. I'm hearing from some disgruntlement from the Altamont faithful, but that was about as clear as it gets.
Yep.
We'll see it here, but 2:08 to go here in the first half. Lundgren to inbound. He finds Scott open on the right corner. Scott back to Lundgren. Back to Scott. Rebels working around with 5 on the perimeter. Daniel Smith's going to go back down to the post. Lundgren takes a good step back 3, and that is off and rebounded by Jessen. Jessen's going to head the other way. Tries to get Sorensen underneath, but that's stolen by Smith. Good defense by Daniel. He passes ahead to Weston. Weston back to Smith, who finds Scott in the corner, and they're going to call Daniel with the travel.
Looking at the replay, Bradley, I will say definitely a foul, but maybe a little bit of good acting from Carter Scott because he does seem to have a little bit smaller size than Wall.
2 gets it across half court, picks up his dribble. Good defense by Weston as the pass gets stolen by Carter, and Ridge able to finish definitely at the rim as he just puts it right over the top. Rebels now up 32-25 with 1:17 to go in the first half.
Going to call him over and back at half court, Bradley. And no argument from the Altamont bench on that one. That is the 12th turnover on the Longhorns.
So the Rebels will get the ball back, and Weston gets it into Lundgren and back to Weston. Weston dribbling to his right. He finds Lundgren up top. Lundgren over to Scott. They're going to try for their alley-oop play. Definitely an efficient play, as always, as Lundgren able to get an open look and finish at the rim to bring the score to 34-25. Rebels up 9 with 50 seconds to go in the first half. Jessen for 3. That is no good. Rebounded by Scott, but they're going to say he was out of bounds.
Well, I'm going to give him credit for the rebound, and then we'll call him in for a turnover. How about that?
Yeah, 46 seconds to go in the first half. Rebels in a bit tighter of a contest than originally planned on. Ball is tipped and out of bounds. That was tipped by Lundgren.
Caught by Jet Holmes on the bench.
Everyone plays a role. And so Altamont will inbound the ball from the sideline. Jessen inbounds to Sorensen. Sorensen hands back to Jessen. Jessen tries to drive baseline. They're going to get Daniel Smith with the foul.
Altamont thought that he'd stepped out of bounds. Yeah. Second foul on Daniel Smith, but the Altamont Longhorns without the ball from the baseline.
Jessen to inbound. He gets it into Winterton. Winterton over to Whiting. Whiting finds Jessen back in the corner, and now they're going to call him out of bounds.
No, ball don't lie, Bradley.
That's right. 38.2 to go in the first half. Rebels up 9. Weston gets it ahead to Lundgren. Lundgren hands to Hoffman. Hoffman to Weston. Weston's going to drive all the way to the rim and able to finish. Good finish there for Drake to give the Rebels an 11-point lead now with 23 seconds to go. Rebels have gone on a little bit of a run here to end the half, trying to keep it forward as Whiting.
That's got to be 5 seconds, isn't it?
And they're going to get, is that Carter they're going to call it on?
Going to give Carter Hoffman the foul, but that had to be at least 5 seconds.
Yeah, and I like Carter's hustle there. I mean, he was just in the right place, but they're going to get him with a cheap one with 12.2 to go. So good effort there by Carter. 36-25. Rebels up with 10 seconds to go on the clock. 2 hands to Whiting. Whiting up top. Drake tries to jump the pass, and Whiting just throws one up. No good, and that will be it as the Rebels not able to get one off in time. Rebels 36, Longhorns 25. We're going to go to a break, and when we get back, we will have our standout student segment along with the first half highlights.
Supporting local schools, Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company, know when it comes to buying and selling cattle, you count on the best. Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. 208-339-0614. That's 208-339-0614.
Established in 1872, Woodruff, Utah has a long history of good neighbors helping each other succeed. Woodruff was built with hard work, integrity, and a sense of community that can be felt every time you visit. We have always celebrated all students in academics and extracurricular activities, and we cheer on our rich rebels. Woodruff, Utah, a great place to live.
It is time for our standout student segment, and I'm excited to have my buddy Cade Nelson on. Cade, how are things going for you today?
They're doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing well. We're going to talk about a couple different things, but let's jump right into basketball, the current sport you're doing. We'll talk a little bit about football too, and then we'll end with how things are going in school. It's over halfway through the season. How's your junior year of basketball going?
It's going really well. It's been better than all my previous years. It's been nice. I don't play a ton of varsity, but I get in time, and it's been nice to play in the varsity level. I'm hoping I can finish out the year strong and lead in well to next year's basketball season. So,
speaking of next year in JV, Cade, anyone who watches you guys play in those JV games, the chemistry is very strong, and you guys play super well together. What's that like playing with your classmates, since the majority of the JV team is juniors?
It's been really nice. I've been able to be with my friends ever since elementary, and we've always had that type of connection on the court. I don't know if I could really have any type of connection with anybody else. I've been able to play with them I don't know how long, and the way that we can connect and the times that we have out in the court are like none other. So it's been a real pleasure to play with my buddies.
And Cade, you have been doing really well lately. You played a lot in the Tinted game, which was a close, competitive one, and did a great job there. What was that like going into the third quarter when it's just a couple-point ball game, getting your name called?
It was different. I normally don't play a lot in the closer games, and for him to look down the bench and tell me to take my warm-up off, it felt like it put a big burden on my chest almost. But I went in there and I was able to breathe, and I was able to take advantage of the time I was getting, and it was really fun to go in and contribute to the team.
That's awesome. And speaking of contributing to the team, Cade, you played a very large role in the state championship in football this year. Talk to me about the football season and what you walked away with.
This junior year season was really fun for football. In the past, I was a big JV contributor, and going into this year, I wasn't expecting a lot of varsity time, but then we had the week before we played Gunnison for the first time, Larson told me that I would be starting on the line. And it came as a bit of a shocker. As the year went on, I felt more comfortable playing in the varsity position, and it started to roll. And we went into the playoffs, was able to do well, got to that championship game. I'm like, okay, this is my moment. Let's do something with it. And we were able to come out victorious, and it was a good win.
And we're expecting another great season from you and your teammates next year in football as well. Cade, you're well over halfway of the school year now. How's your junior year going?
Really, really good. I've had a really fun year, especially now when I'm starting college classes. I always thought that these college classes would be kind of hard to do, but these classes, they're not as hard as you'd think they'd be. I think they'd be a whole nother level with high school, but they're just as easy as these high school classes I've been taking, so it's been really, really good.
Well, I asked Jet to find me a couple kids for standout students, and he said, hey, you should ask Cade. Killed it Tinted game, and he gets straight A's. So you come well recommended for the standout student segment.
Yeah, well, thank you.
I know you've got another year of high school, but do you know what you want to do after high school?
I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and I've always kind of thought about something medical. A lot of my family's been in the medical field and done something like that. But the more I think about it, I'm like, I kind of want to do something a little different. I kind of would like to be like a pilot or something like that. My uncle is a pilot. He's the only other one that isn't really in the medical field. He could show me a lot on how to be a pilot or something like that. So I think it'd be really cool to be a pilot.
Well, what you should do is just combine the two and be a life flight pilot. I hear that is an awesome job. So you've got elements of both to combine there. Well, I'm sure you're going to do great things, Cade. I always end our interviews with asking our standout student if there's a teacher you'd like to give a shout out to that's had a positive impact on you during your time at Rich High School so far.
The new teacher, Mr. Mitch Jessen.
History teacher, right?
Only taught me, yes, he's a history teacher. He has only taught me for 1 year, and the year that I had him, he was a phenomenal teacher. I loved his class. He was really good at what he did and how he taught our history lessons. I loved his class.
Well, you're not the only one. I think it was Jet that, gave him a shout out as well and spoke highly of him. So anyway, great shout out. And Cade, thanks for taking the time to talk with me. Good luck this week as you have Altamont and Windover on the schedule. So good luck against them and for the rest of the season.
Reach a dedicated hometown, regional, and worldwide audience. Dive into the action with My Local Rodeo. Our high school rodeo broadcasts are the heart of the community, drawing families and fans who love to support local businesses. From prime advertising spots to exclusive sponsorships, your businesses can shine in the spotlight. Don't miss out. Contact us today and saddle up for an unbeatable advertising opportunity. My Local Rodeo, where your business becomes part of the excitement.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to our halftime show as the Rebels are up 11 on Altamont, 36-25. Rob, take us through the first half of action.
Well, shout out again to the pep band who are without Mr. Woods, but they're not skipping a beat, no pun intended. So
I agree.
Well, Rebels came close to that 25 points in the first quarter, jumped out a 22-16 lead, and then outscored Altamont 14-9 in that second quarter for a 36-25 lead, shooting 11 of 18 from inside the arc only 3 of 14 in there. We're 0 of 8 behind the arc in that second quarter, Bradley. 4 of 7 from the free throw line. Altamont 9 of 27. So that's 9 more shots from inside the arc for the Longhorns, which I think has helped them with some offensive rebounds. They're 1 of 5 from three-point land and just 2 of 6 from the free throw line. Altamont's winning the battle of the boards, Bradley, 22-20. 3 offensive boards for Rich, but 8 offensive boards for the Longhorns. That second chance opportunities. Carter Scott with 6 rebounds, Briggs Wall with 7, and Braden Jessen with 5. Rich has 9 turnovers, Altamont with 13. And as far as the scoring is concerned, Lundgren.
How many did you say Braden Jessen has?
He has got 5 rebounds.
Oh, rebounds.
Points.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
we're going there.
Okay.
Rich Lundgren with 9 in the first half. Riker Hoffman with 3. Daniel Smith with 4. Drake Weston with 4. Carter Scott with 8. And Dylan Fonsbeck with 8 points, all in that third quarter when he came off the bench. Braden Jessen has 15 to answer your question, Bradley.
Yeah, he's been pretty tough.
Briggs Wall has 3. Case Sorensen has 6. And Stanton Winterton has 1 to give Altamont their 25 points.
And thank you, Rob, for that first half summary. Altamont definitely making this a competitive one, so we'll be interested to see who comes out and wants to win this one in the start of the third quarter. I think the first minute or two will show how the rest of this game is going to go. If the Rebels come out firing and aggressive, they'll be just fine. But if they let Altamont keep alive, this one might be a toss-up, which is kind of crazy to say looking at how things were supposed to go. But that's how the game of basketball goes. So stay tuned as the second half is coming up after the break. You're listening online at mylocalradio.com and at 98.3 KDQ FM.
Established in 1984, T7 Propane provides you with quick and affordable service. Rely on T7 services to bring warmth and comfort to your home or business. T7 Propane delivers everywhere from the Fort Bridger area throughout Bear Lake Valley. Schedule your delivery today at T7propane.com. T7 Propane for all your propane needs.
Weston gets it over to Lundgren. Lundgren for 3, and that is good.
Pretty shot.
So the Rebels with 2 big threes here in the second half. Up now 42-25. Lundgren gets another steal, and he tries to get the dunk, and he gets dang close, but a good finish now. So here's what's happening now is we said that the Rebels need to come out hot in the second half, and that's what we're seeing.
Shot underneath by Kay Sorensen.
So Lundgren has it in the corner. He passes over to Daniel. Daniel Smith for 3, and that just rims out. Rebounded by Rust. And Rust gets it ahead to Jessen, who passes to Winterton over to Wall. Wall enters it into Winterton. Winterton gets it to Sorensen. Sorensen likes that baseline jumper, and that rims out. Rebounded by Hoffman and thrown ahead to Lundgren. Lundgren to Smith, back to Lundgren. Hoffman, he had a 3 earlier. He dribbles to his left, hands to Weston. Weston for 3 from the corner, and that is good. So the Rebels with 3. Those all been back to back.
Now we had a miss in between.
And so the Rebels with 3 threes from Carter Hoffman, Ridge Lundgren, and Drake Weston to start things off here. Do I have that right? Was Ridge one of those 3?
Yep.
So the Rebels now 47-27. Let me fix the score for Altamont. Rebels up 11 at half. Now jump out to a 20-point lead to get things going here in the first 3 minutes.
We got a fan cam?
We do have a fan cam coming right up.
And now a message from the experts at Bear Lake Realty.
Welcome to Water's Edge, right downtown Garden City. Beachfront condos, close to the beach, close to downtown for your renters and the owners.
Thank you to Gary McKee and the team at Bear Lake Realty for sponsoring our Bear Lake Fan Cam each third quarter. And we are back. Rebels on a good run here. What would that be, Rob? I'm thinking of what the run is.
11-2.
11-2. 11-2 run to start the second half. Just what the doctor ordered after a tough resistance from Altamont in the first half. Rebels in a full court press as Lundgren riding Jessen along the sideline. And Scott tips the pass. Reed Grohl about impelled all those players with his cane over there. But everyone remains safe, including our friend Reed over there on the sideline. Ball is inbound to Jesse. Tries to get it into Winterton, but Scott there for the steal, and he'll finish that at the rim. Good steal and finish for Carter Scott, bringing it to 49-27. Winterton skips that ahead to Jessen, and Jessen tries to get it to Wall, but Wall stolen by Hoffman. A lot of commotion as Altamont ends up back with it, and they're not able to finish at the rim. And Carter Hoffman gets it ahead, and he loses it, and stolen by Wall. And they get it ahead to Winterton. Winterton this time able to finish at the rim. Rebels still up 20, 49-29. Weston drives in and then skips it over to Scott, and Scott with the open 3 rims out and rebounded by Sorensen. And Sorensen passes it over to Jessen, and Jessen will get it across half court to Winterton. Winterton dribbles to his right, gives to Rust. Rust on the right wing. He hands to Sorensen. Sorensen just off the mark into the hands of Weston. Weston passes ahead to Lundgren. Lundgren finds an open Smith, who skips it to Scott. Scott for 3 from the corner, and that is good. And that's something I've loved about Carter Scott all year, Rob. He obviously had to miss the possession before, but he didn't even think about it the next time he got it. And that's been a great part of his game so far, is just consistency. Ball is stolen. Hoffman gets it ahead to Lundgren, and Lundgren tries for the dunk, and that just rims out. And Weston gets the foul, or gets the steal, and then pushed out of bounds. And Rich will keep possession after being pushed out of bounds.
And I apologize for the camera work on that one, because that one flipped around back. I'm trying to make sure I got Ridge on that dunk, and it was all the camera fault that he missed.
That's right. So Carter Hoffman comes out of the game for Riker Hoffman. Rebels up 52-29 with 3:31 to go in the third. Ridge will try for three from the top of the key. That is no good. A good rebound there from Riker Hoffman, and he'll get fouled on the putback attempt. If that's on Wall, he is done.
Yeah, 21. That would be on Jessen. But Rebels have not had a lot of offensive boards, only the fourth tonight. So well done by Riker to earn a spot on the free throw line. Rebels 4 of 7 today so far, Bradley.
And Riker's first foul shot is up and no good. Score remains 52-29 with 3:23 to go in the third.
Okay, 4 of 8.
Riker's second is coming up. He puts it up, and it is good. I'll make the score 53-29. Jessen nearly carries, but able to keep his hand on top of the ball. He passes it ahead to 2. 2 dribbles to his left, hands to Jessen. Jessen gets past multiple Rebel defenders and gets the and one as he is fouled at the basket.
Nice little hop, skip, and jump. And they're going to give the foul to Drake, I guess. His first.
And team foul, that will be the first on the Rebels this quarter.
First free throw from Jessen of the ball game, and that is no good.
Ball rebounded by Smith. He gets it ahead to Weston. Then to Hoffman. Hoffman skips to Smith. Ridge over to Weston. Weston dribbles to his right, finds a streaking Smith who kicks it back out to Scott. Lundgren for 3 from the top, and that is off the front iron and rebounded by Jessen. Jessen now going to the hoop, and that is stolen from behind by Weston. Weston in the corner. He gets out away from both Jessen and Rust, and then he is finally fouled at the elbow from Winterton.
Third foul on Altamont in the quarter.
And so Ridge will be the inbounder here as he is under his own basket. He's got few open guys. He's looking, great pass there to Daniel Smith, but defended well by Altamont. Ball is tipped away. Drake gets it into Daniel, and Daniel this time is going to get fouled as he tries for the 2-pointer. So Daniel will go to the line to shoot 2. Good entry pass there from Weston on the broken up play.
Daniel was a decoy. Looked like he was trying to set a pick on that inbounds play for Riker, and then just turned around, was wide open, but couldn't finish, but he will earn it from the stripe.
Yeah, his first is good as Jet Holmes comes in for Drake Weston. Drake will take a breather with 2:28 to go in the third. Second foul shot coming up for Daniel. His first was good. His second is off the front iron. Rebounded by Wall. He rockets it ahead to 2, and 2's going to get fouled trying to advance the ball, and that's going to get awarded to Carter Scott. And that's his first.
Only the second team foul on the Rebels in the quarter.
2 looking to inbound. He does get it into Jessen. Jessen gets it ahead, and he is able to finish at the basket. 54-33. Lundgren has it on the left wing. And ball gets tipped away, but back to Lundgren, to Holmes, and then to Hoffman. Scott now has it on the left wing. And Jet Holmes now has it on the top of the key. Passes to Lundgren on the left wing. Minute 55 to go in the third quarter. Ball temporarily tipped, but Scott able to keep possession. And back to Lundgren. Lundgren, no-look pass to Scott, and that is good. Mark that down for a potential play of the game as Ridge has a good no-look pass to Scott, who finishes with the 3. And Scott's going to get another foul here right in the same spot on the same guy. So now his second foul, third team foul for the Rebels. Ball is inbounded to Jessen. Jessen hands to 2. A long 2-pointer, and that is no good. Rebounded by Scott. Going back to our guard line, having some great rebounds. There was another one, Rob. And Carter Scott goes coast to coast. Great play for Scott as he's able to finish at the rim with a minute 15 to go in the third. Jessen looks to drive, but that is tipped away, I believe, by Lundgren into the hands of Scott, and then back to Lundgren and Ridge. Maybe that's the play of the game. I don't know. We've had some good ones between the two buddies, Ridge Lundgren and Carter Scott. The chemistry between them is always apparent. And so 61-33 for the Rebels. We'll be back after this with 1:05 to go in the third.
It's the best feeling when you've had a long drive and you see your hotel, the Come On Inn, Casper. That means your day just got better. At the Come On Inn, you have lots of options. Unwind in the hot tub, go for a swim, relax in the beautiful atrium, and sleep in total comfort. Centrally located, the Come On Inn is close to everything. In the morning, start your day with a delicious breakfast. Top it all off with an amazing, friendly staff who is always glad to see you. It doesn't get better than that. When you're in Casper, always stay at the Come On Inn.
We are back live. The Rebels having a good run here off the backs of Scott and Lundgren, 61-33 with a minute to go in the third. Altamont trying to get back in this one as they tried to make some adjustments at that timeout as Jessen drives to the basket, being guarded by Holmes, and he will get fouled by Holmes, so he'll go to line to shoot two. What's Jessen from the line so far?
He's 0 for 1.
That's kind of impressive. He only shot one foul shot with how active he's been today.
Yep, and it wasn't a pretty one. We'll see if he can improve on last time's performance.
So it is up and just rims out. 52.3 on the clock remaining in the third. Jessen's second is on the way, and it is no good. Rebounded by Lundgren, and he hands to Holmes to bring the ball up. Team fouls 4 apiece. We'll see if anyone gets into the bonus this quarter. Lundgren finds Scott on the elbow. Good defense from Russ as he intercepts that pass that was intended for Lundgren. Wall has it on the wing. He gets it over to Winterton. Winterton's shot's no good. Rebounded by Holmes, going the other way. Holmes dribbles to his right. Picks it up, tipped away by Winterton, but Holmes able to get it back and pass to Scott. Scott has it back up at the top with 13 seconds on the clock. Now Smith has it on the left wing. He finds Holmes. Holmes from the foul line, and that is good. So I believe Jets' first points of the game puts the Rebels up 30, 63-33. Wall will put one up, and that is no good.
I'm not sure he got that off in time, but.
So Wall, I want to know, Wall survives the whole third quarter with 4 fouls from the 4th he got in the second quarter. And so we'll go to a quick break. Thank you for tuning in. You're listening online at mylocalradio.com and at 98.3 KDQ FM.
We know from experience that in rural America, people really care about 3 things: their faith, their money, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order.
It's a race. Mendez in some space down the left wing. Steps into a shot. Mendez scores! Red Devils on top, 2-0 on the Heritage Auto of Evanston scoreboard.
The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Hello, North Carolina. Cheyenne's coming to visit.
The My Local Radio Sports Network covers high school sports in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. American Legion Baseball and high school rodeo in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. Advertising in the My Local Radio Sports Network is unique for 2 reasons. 1, it's the best way to reach your local audience, and 2, it's the most economical way to reach your regional and national audience. Join us today on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back as we start our 4th quarter of action here. Rebels with a commanding lead, definitely pulled away there in the third. They were only up 11 at half, but now up 30, and we're gonna have a jump ball to start things off, and that will go to the Rebels.
Rebels scored 27 in that quarter, Bradley.
Yeah,
29,
definitely a good
sorry.
half, yeah, or quarter, excuse me. Holmes brings it across half court, passes it to Grohl. Back to Holmes. Holmes finds Weston for the alley-oop, and that is good. 65-33 now, in favor of the Rebels. 2 dribbles to his left, and he'll get a floater up, and that is good. Good finish there for 2.
His first points of the ball game.
Weston quickly gets it across to Holmes and then to Fonsbeck, and Fonsbeck with the and one. So it's Fon's time once again as he's going to go to the line to complete the three-point play.
Fouls on Justin. That is his 3rd, I believe. Yep.
So Fonsbeck looking, this has got to be what, his 11th, trying for his 11th point right here?
Yep.
And
got to be his season high.
Weston off the missed free throw, puts up a 3, and that is no good. Rebounded by Altamont. 2 gets it across to Wall. Wall back to 2. Wall dribbles to his left, or 2 picks it up, passes to Justin on the right wing. Justin dribbling to his left. He found Wall on the pick and roll, and Wall gets it over to Russ, who's fouled underneath, and they are going to get the ball underneath now after that foul on the ground.
Yeah, going to give the foul to Fonsbeck, his 2nd.
2 gets it into Jessen, back to 2. He's stuck in the corner, guarded by Weston. He'll dribble to his left, pick up his dribble. He's trying to find some help, and Weston just playing some tenacious defense there, and he'll tip it off, and they're going to say that went off on the Rebels. So I think you're going to see Coach Cornea start to rotate in his bench now as Aiden Weston comes in for Jet Holmes. So into the game, Grohl, Weston, Fonsbeck, Aiden Weston, and Carter Hoffman. Ball being rotated around the perimeter now. Jessen has it in the corner, enters it into 2. 2 goes in, briefly tipped by Hoffman, but 2 able to finish. He's got 4 in this quarter now. Grohl goes baseline, gets it to Weston. Weston for 3, and that almost goes. Aiden's a great shooter in those JV games, and that just goes off the front iron.
Winterton with the rebound, and Carter Grohl's going to get his first foul. 2nd on the Rebels in the quarter.
So ball is passed ahead to Winterton. He drives to his left, passes it to Jessen at the foul line. Jessen stumbles down, but able to keep the ball alive and gets it back to Winterton. Winterton to 2. 6 minutes to go here. Rebels up 30, 67-37. Grohl tips it away, keeps it alive and hands to Weston. Rob, so tomorrow we've got the Rebels with another doubleheader against Windover. You might see a somewhat similar game in the girls' game, but the boys from Windover, as we've talked about before, could definitely be a good challenge for the boys as they took Tabiona to overtime last week.
Double
overtime and lost by 1 at Tabiona, which we know that is no easy feat. And so Altamont's going to take the ball underneath. Wall's going to get fouled by Hoffman.
A little bit too much give there on the hands, and that is Carter's 3rd foul of the ball game. 3rd foul of the quarter.
5.5 minutes to go here in the game as Jensen looks to inbound. He does get it into 2. 2 looks to take Weston to the baseline. He's there, but had help from Fonsbeck, but a good finish for 2.
He's got all the points, all 6 for the Longhorns in the quarter.
Yeah, he's come alive in this 4th quarter. Weston drives to the basket. Nice finger roll on the front iron to answer back. The Rebels keep this 30-point lead as it continues to go back and forth. Winterton with the ball at the top. He passes to Jessen on the left wing. Jessen dribbles to his left, and he has a nice finish with Fonsbeck in his face. Weston will get the ball, dribbles to his right, and that's going to be tipped, but he's fouled, and that will go out of bounds.
I think they're going to get a reach on 2.
Winterton.
Nope, Winterton.
So into the game for the Rebels. Carter Scott, Ridge Lundgren in for Drake Weston and Carter Hoffman. We've probably seen the end of the two seniors' night with 4:46 to go in the fourth. Aiden Weston enters it into Fonsbeck, who immediately gets it back out to Scott. Scott for three, no good. Fonsbeck with a rebound and putback, but no good, and tipped out of bounds by the Rebels. (69-41) for your Rebels. Two gets it across. Nice crossover as he goes to the hoop, and he'll be fouled by Scott, and he'll go to the line to shoot two.
He's got 6 points in the quarter, has not been to the free throw line yet in the ball game, but
about to shoot two. His first is up and good. Second on the way for two. And that one is off the mark. Rebound by Aiden Weston, heading the other way. Aiden gets it ahead to Scott. Scott finds Grohl in the corner. Grohl dribbles it over to Carter Scott. And over to Lundgren. 4:12 to go in the game. Rebels up 69-42. Carter Scott in the right wing. Pass it over to Fonsbeck. Fonsbeck into Aiden Weston at the elbow, and they're going to get a foul on, I believe.
It's going to be on two.
On two, yep.
That is Luke 2, which doesn't really clarify much more conversation when you say two enough in a ball game.
Yep, it's kind of tough to do. So Russ did come into the game for two. And Lundgren to inbound after that foul. He is looking and gets it up into Fonsbeck. Fonsbeck back to Lundgren. Lundgren for three from corner. No good. Tipped by Carter Grohl. Good effort for that rebound, but Altamont comes up with it. And they're going to get it ahead to Rust. And Rust for the long three, and they're going to get Aiden Weston for the foul on the three-point attempt. So Rust is going to go to the line to shoot three. And we got some subs coming in for the Rebels.
Yeah, Caden Nelson, number 45, who was our standout student, and Dylan was the number 11, who this is not his first basketball game of the week, Bradley.
That's true, isn't it?
Yep.
Tell us the story.
Well, he and Boston Jolly joined Brandon Snow and Nathan Jessen and Maddie Moldenhauer with the Morgan High School students for a basketball game on Wednesday. Actually, 3 games.
So how did this come to be? I had heard rumblings of something going on with this. So what was the story there?
I think it's I'm not sure if I know the terminology, but unified sports. They've done track last year, which is quite a bit, and this time basketball. I think they had 3 games, and so they don't have enough to make a team of their own, so they combine with Morgan High School.
Good for them. That's awesome. And where was that game played?
It was played in Morgan.
Cool. So Fonsbeck with the ball up top, nearly stolen. He's able to keep it alive. Kicks it out to Cade and then over to Weston. Weston dribbles it out. Back to Nelson in the corner. 3.5 to go on the clock, 69-42. Fonsbeck keeps the ball alive with multiple defenders on him, gives to Weston. And Weston goes to the hoop and is fouled by Rust. And so Aiden Weston is going to go to the line to shoot 2.
I'm just double checking who they're going to give the. Yep, they are going to give it to Rust.
No, they gave it to Sorensen.
Oh, well, I do know this. Nathan Jessen scored, I think, 8 baskets between the 3 games.
Nice.
And Brandon Snow likes the granny three-pointer from half court.
Awesome. Well, shout out to our boys going down to Morgan High School and having some good games. Aiden's second is up and good. So both foul shots good for Aiden Weston. 71-42 as Bodie O'Mealy looks to check in here shortly. Russ dribbles to his left, gives to Jessen. Jessen, a step back 3, no good. And that's going to be tipped from Sorensen out of bounds, giving the ball back to the Rebels.
Coming in for Fonsbeck, who leaves the ball game with 10 points. and 2 rebounds.
Bodie O'Mealy, best sideburns on the team, and it's not even a contest. Aiden Weston gets it over to Carter Grohl. Grohl to O'Mealy in the corner. O'Mealy gets to Cade at the elbow. Good ball movement as Wasden gets it under the hoop, and he kicks it out to Weston, Aiden Weston, and that is a missed 3, rebounded by Jessen, taken the other way. Nearly stolen by Wasden, but Jessen able to keep things alive. And Wall, who I'm just impressed that he's still in the game with 4. He's had 4 fouls since towards the end of the second quarter. He gets a rebound and put back there to make it a 71-44 point game. Grohl brings it across half court and passes to Weston. Weston back to Grohl. Aiden gets it at the elbow, and then a great pass. He threaded the needle into Cade Nelson, but good defense there from Jessen. And Altamont gets it ahead to Rust, and Rust finishes at the basket. 71-46 with just under 2 minutes to go in the game. Rebels leading. Grohl's going to get fouled by Winterton, and he will go to the line to shoot 2 here.
Yeah, Rebels in the bonus. That is the 5th foul.
So both teams in the bonus.
Yep, 3rd on Winterton.
Well, you can't take them with you.
That's true. You don't get extra points.
There's no rollover like your Roth IRA or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the first rims out, no good for Carter. Winterton comes out and 2 into the game.
Carter could be the 10th Rebel to be in the scorebook. No.
But O'Mealy, a great rebound, but stolen away from Rust. Tipped out of bounds off of Rust, and Rebels will keep the ball. Good effort there by O'Mealy on the rebound and keep the ball in Rebels' possession as the ball's inbounded to Grohl and then over to Wasden. Grohl with the ball. Rebels just passing it around. O'Mealy, good pass in the corner to Weston. 19 on the shot clock. Rebels just passing it around. Weston for 3 from corner, and that is no good. This time rebounded by Wall. He gets it ahead to 2. Nice Euro step there and finish. Good talent there for the Longhorns, just a freshman. He played well out at Altamont as well against the Rebels. Grohl has it in the corner. Hands to Weston. Weston dribbles to his left. Finds O'Mealy. O'Mealy back to Weston and then to Wasden. A minute to go in the game. 15 on the shot clock. Grohl dribbles to his left to O'Mealy. Then to Wasden. Wasden tries for 3. That is no good. And into the hands of Wall. Wall passes it ahead to 2. 2 goes baseline and has another floater. He's had a lot of points this quarter.
Yeah, he's got 11.
Yeah, just in this quarter, right?
Yep.
37 seconds to go. Rebels up 21, 71-50. Grohl passes to Wasden. Wasden to Weston. Wasden passes it over to Grohl. Grohl skips it to Aiden Weston. 18 on the shot clock, 22 on the game clock. Tipped away by Sorensen into the hands of Wall. Wall gets ahead to 2. 2 going for the 13th point. No good. Rebounded by Grohl, and that should do it. 10 seconds on the clock. We don't even have to cross the half-court line if we don't want to. Grohl gets it across, and he'll just dribble this thing out. So that'll be it. With 1 second left, the Rebels beat the Longhorns 71-50. The Rebels with a very strong second and third quarter, able to pull away on this one. Great second half from the Rebels. We'll be back after this with our post-game show here on mylocalradio.com and listening at the 98.3 KDQ FM.
Ready has provided safety and excellence in industrial construction and support services since 1982. From insulation and scaffolding to paintings and coatings, our crews are standing by to assist with new construction, maintenance projects, facility shutdowns, and more. Contact us today to ensure your assets are protected and functional. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
Healthy teeth and gums affect your overall health, including the mental image you have of yourself. That's just one reason that good dental care and hygiene habits should begin at a young age. Healthy teeth mean fewer sick days from school and higher self-esteem. We all want our children to be successful. Teaching them healthy dental habits at a young age with regular cleanings and dental checks is part of the answer. Dr. McKay Frankum serves patients of all ages. Call today and schedule dental appointments for your family. Dr. McKay Frankum, providing precision family dentistry at affordable prices.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in to our postgame show brought to you by Independent Software Solutions. And Rob, we're going to talk about just a recap of the game, our precision play of the game, and our player of the game. Let's start with a recap of that second half.
Well, the Rebels had an 11-point lead at halftime, and they exploded offensively with 27 points in that third quarter, which included 5 3-pointers, which helped the 27 points to build a 30-point lead at the end of the third. And the fourth quarter, Coach Cornier using his bench, and the Longhorns actually outscored the Rebels in the fourth quarter, but finished off with a 71-50 final. Rebels on a roll as usual.
And that brings us to our precision play of the game by Dean McKay Frankum. I like both those back-to-back plays between Carter Scott and Ridge Lundgren. Both great passes between the two of them to have the back-to-back scores. And great job to them. Coming up, the player of the game brought to you by the Crawford Trough. Rob, I'm putting you on the spot here, but who stuck out to you today in this matchup?
Well, am I allowed to have a co-player?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Ridge Lundgren ends up with 16 points, and Carter Scott ends up with 16 points. And the reason I say co-player, because you already mentioned it, there is a chemistry between those two, and that has a lot to do with some long hours in the gym.
Absolutely.
During the fall, where everybody else is out playing football, and those two would be in shooting. And you can't, that's not by any coach. That's simply by two young men who know that they're going to be playing basketball, and they're going to put in the hard work in the gym that shows up on the court, whether it's on the free throw line or from the three-point land, or the chemistry that they can look for each other with that alley-oop play. That would be my suggestion, is give it to both of them for tonight.
Well, and you hit it spot on. I think the kids who were playing football had a ton of respect, knowing that yeah, they weren't playing football with them, but they were putting in tons of work to get ready for this season, which the fruits of their labors are definitely coming out here. I don't know if you saw the Facebook post from Leslie Scott, but talked a lot about how in so many pictures of Carter Scott after a made basket, Ridge is smiling and cheering him on. So just to reiterate the fact, there's great chemistry there and throughout the team.
Sweet.
That brings us to, we've already hit on our calendar update, but tomorrow, starting at 2 o'clock, I believe, the tip-off for the varsity girls against Windover, followed by the 3:30 tip-off for the boys, both against Windover.
Yep, there are some freshman games going on at 11, JV at 12:30. I'm not sure there's a freshman boys and girls. I think there's only one of those. I'm going to lean towards a freshman boys game.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then 12:30 for the JV for both, and then 2 o'clock for the girls and the 3:30 for the boys. Wrestlers have the weekend off, getting ready for state next week.
And we'll talk about that tomorrow during our calendar update, as next week, very big week for sports all around for Ridge High School, but we'll talk about that in tomorrow's postgame show. Thank you for tuning in.